Chapter 4098, You Are a Guest from Afar. Please have a talk with your family. Although it doesn't seem to like the Terran, the head of the moon-watching clan still invites Long Chen and others. Patriarch they. Su Changchuan points to the people who hit him in the distance. Close all doors. No one can open them without my command. The patriarch is very cold. Obviously, he didn't want to deal with family affairs in front of outsiders, so as not to be laughed at by others. He had to deal with the affairs of Longchen first. In terms of etiquette, they didn't regard the dragon as the leader of the clan. Long Chen with a fist, with all the people along with the Wangyue clan head and others to go forward, in front of a continuous mountain, cloud winding, picturesque scenery, bright moonlight reflects the earth, hazy, with endless mystery. Along the way, the head of Wangyue clan didn't speak, and all the powerful people didn't dare to speak. It was obvious that they had realized something. Some of them are pale, but they have to follow. They are the people who conspire to kill Su Changchuan. They didn't expect that Su Changchuan really rushed in, which made them feel uneasy. Soon, a huge valley appeared in front of him. At the end of the valley, there was a huge figure. When he saw that figure, Longchen and others were jumping wildly. It's a huge rhinoceros. It stands in the sky, surrounded by endless stars. It looks up and stares in the direction of a bright moon. At that moment, Longchen and others finally realized that the Moon Watchers were the monster family. The huge rhinoceros was full of brilliance, as if they were being baptized by the moonlight. From the rhinoceros, Longchen and others felt the endless power. It seems that any action of the rhinoceros can destroy the heaven and the earth. That kind of shocking feeling, even Longchen feels that he is so small. It's the ancestral spirit of my family of Moon Watchers. It's the supreme totem of my family of Moon Watchers. If someone is malicious to my family of Moon Watchers, the ancestral spirit will kill them. The chief of Wangyue clan. Longchen can't help frowning. What do you mean? I've always been a Moon Watcher. I don't care to engage in intrigue, and I don't know how to confuse right with wrong. We have to go through this process for any alien race to come. This is our ancestral precept and our way to distinguish good from evil. See Dragon Dust frown. Look at the Moon Clan Chief Wei. I don't like it, but I respect your customs. Longchen nodded. This way of looking at the moon is a little humiliating, which is really uncomfortable. However, the head of looking at the moon is straightforward and does not cover it up, which makes people less disgusted. If the head of looking at the moon does not say it, they do not know. The head of the Wangyue clan nodded and led the people along the valley. A huge open space appeared in front of them. There are no Terran palaces, but a lot of open-air squares, on which banquet is ready. Long Chen and others take their seats one after another. Today, thank you for your help in sending him back. On behalf of the whole Moon Watchers, thank you. The head of the Wangyue clan is very direct. He doesn't want to be empty at all. He takes up the wine cup directly. Long Chen also took the wine cup and had a drink with the head of Wangyue clan. The head of the Wangyue clan said, "Who are you, please?" Long Chen, president of the 7th branch of Lingxiao Academy. Long Chen is also very direct, reported his name. The registration number of Long Chen, including Su Changchuan, surprised everyone, and even the head of Wangyue clan was moved. Obviously, they know about Lingxiao Academy, the oldest academy in 9 days and 10 places. But Long Chen is so young that he is the president of the branch? Is this a joke? No wonder Changchuan will ask you for help. You are not a general person. I speak more directly. Come on, what do you want? Although he was shocked, he believed that Long Chen would not lie. Changchuan told me that when he became a candidate for patriarch, he could give me a piece of land as a place to live in the forbidden area of life. In addition, he could work together to explore the world in the forbidden area in the future. Longchen rode. Nonsense, how can this kind of thing be allowed casually? How can Su Changchuan collude with other people and sell the interests of the Moon Watchers? How can he be the head of the Moon Watchers? This alone has disqualified him. A venerable old man said angrily. That's right. It's a great shame for the great Moon Watchers to ask for help from other people. They promise benefits and sell the interests of the Moon Watchers. It's clearly a big crime of treason and should be executed. Patriarch, no matter what the reason is, it belongs to my family. In order to survive, Su Changchuan sold out his family's interests, which has touched the bottom line of the Moon Watchers. This person must not become the heir of the Moon Watchers, otherwise, he will not be able to convince the public. For a while, one by one, the Heaven's strongmen stood up and accused Su Changchuan. Do you mean that I should die under your conspiracy? Su Changchuan shivered with anger. He asked Longchen for help, but he was forced to do so, otherwise he couldn't come back at all. Now he was caught by this group of people, and he was so angry that he would spit blood. After all, Su Chuan is too young to face his rivals. The position of patriarch is available to those who have the ability. Any hindrance is a test. In the face of the test of life and death, you cannot lose the bottom line. What qualifications do you have to be the patriarch if you sell your family's interests and survive? Where did you get your face back? A strong man in heaven is righteous. You. Su Changchuan pointed to the old man and his hair stood up in anger. If someone didn't drag him, he would even come up in a rage to fight with him. Pa pa pa. At this time, a burst of applause, all people's attention have been attracted, the applause of the people, it is Long Chen. Powerful, really powerful patriarch. If I were you, I would kill these old guys now. Long Chen smiles and sings in the tunnel. The head of the Wangyue clan was very calm and plain, while the powerful ones sneered and were about to retort. But the head of the clan spoke, and they swallowed what they had said. Because they're hitting you in the face? Long Chen's stall. Yellow-mouthed child, how dare and speak out? There's nothing good about the Terran. Do you think you can cheat the patriarch? One of the most powerful people in heaven couldn't help sneering. I've always been a moon watcher. I don't care to engage in intrigue, and I don't know how to confuse right and wrong. Long Chen didn't look at the man. He stood up with his hands down. He learned how to look like the head of the moon-watching clan. Everyone knew who he was imitating. When Long Chen said this, the whole audience was quiet, and the faces of the heaven's strong men with a sneer also changed, as if they were slapped in the face. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4099. Before, the head of the Wangyue clan spoke with a certain pride in his tone. He seemed to despise the intrigue and deception of the human race. At that time, Long Chen was very upset, but think about it. Compared with other races, the Terran is the most complex, which is nothing to refute. Now, these people clearly framed Su Changchuan, but they can still stand at the highest point of morality to blame Su Changchuan. Long Chen is happy. Why, with all his hair, say that others look like monkeys? Boss, they don't confuse right and wrong. They are confusing black and white. They can use shady means by themselves. If others ask for help, it's treason. I'm afraid that even the human race will be willing to bow to the downwind. Guoran, with a smile, finds his way. As soon as Guoran's words came out, the strong faces of the Moon Watchers changed, and the faces were too loud. Even the head of the Moon Watching clan was gloomy and frightening. Before, he secretly told everyone that they should not discuss this matter in front of outsiders. If there is anything, we should wait until we send Long Chen and others. As a result, as soon as Long Chen opened his mouth, they seemed to grasp the handle and wanted to kill Su Changchuan, even forgetting his advice. It's not your turn to interrupt the internal affairs of the Moon Watchers. A powerful man of Wangyue clan said angrily. Long Chen said, "Who is willing to intervene in your family's affairs? I just talk about the matter and answer the questions of the patriarch." However, it seems that the Moon Watchers are just like this. They can do all the cheeky things to confuse right and wrong. It seems that they are no longer talking about things that turn back. Come on, I won't take part in your family's troubles, elder brother Changchuan. Anyway, we are in the same family. It's nothing for me to save you. You don't have to worry about it. Well, see you later. Long Chen said, stood up, this is going to go. Brother Long, you can't go. Is Su Changchuan a dishonest villain? Su Changchuan could not help but stand up and said angrily. Su Changchuan suddenly came out, knelt down in front of the head of Wangyue clan, and said in a loud voice, "Chief, if you really think that Changchuan is harmful to the family reputation, Changchuan has nothing to say. I, Su Changchuan, have no other strong points, but I know that my husband has a lot to say and a lot to promise. He will do what he promises others. If he can't do it, I will give my life to Brother Long." Are you threatening the patriarch? It's treason. There is the roar of the strong, but the anger on the surface can hardly hide the schadenfreude in the eyes. Long Chen didn't expect that Su Changchuan, who looked soft and weak, had such courage to fight with the patriarch. He didn't realize that this guy was a man. With Su Changchuan's words, Long Chen's adventure is worth it. It doesn't matter whether he can get benefits or not. Are you not afraid that I will put you to death? The patriarch said angrily. You've taught me that people don't stand up without faith. What the Moon Watchers say is not without number. This time I return to the clan at all costs. It's not that I, Su Changchuan, covet the position of clan leader, but that I can't let the position of clan leader fall into the hands of traitors. If I can't fight for the position of clan leader, they will inherit your position. With their insidious, vicious and inflexible means, they will only destroy the Moon Watchers. Then I, Su Changchuan, will be the eternal sinner of the Moon Watchers. If those guys who compete with me have more talent and character than me, I don't care to fight for this position. I would rather travel all over the world and live a free life. You said that the interests of the family are above everything else. Am I afraid of death for the sake of the family? But I don't know what you can do for me, Su Changchuan said in a loud voice. See Su Changchuan tone excited, quite broken meaning, the several Tianzuan strong, the corners of the mouth gradually hung a smile. They know that what the patriarch dislikes most is the pride and complacency of young people. Su Changchuan's words are too big. It's like that without Su Changchuan, the Moon Watchers will be finished. This will only irritate the patriarch. No respect, then go to die. The head of Wangyue clan looks gloomy and claps his palm on Su Changchuan's forehead. Everyone is scared. It's too sudden. Choking, the sword of Ming Hong comes out of its sheath, and the sky is full of brilliance. It stabs at the brow of the head of the Moon Watching clan, and it's Long Chen. Looking for death, Long Chen even gave his hand to the head of the Wangyue clan. All the powerful members of the Wangyue clan were angry and pressed down their weapons one by one. Boom, Uncle Huai showed himself, and the Dragon Blood soldiers summoned the Dragon Blood battle body one after another. The sword came out of the sheath, and the war was imminent. In order to be saved, Su Wuchuan must fight with Long Chen. But when the long sword of Long Chen stabbed the head of Wangyue clan, his big hand changed its direction, stretched out 2 fingers and clamped it gently. Dragon Dust suddenly felt a surge of blood. The power of terror almost let him a mouthful of blood. Dragon Dust was shocked. The strength of the head of the Wangyue clan is immeasurable. Dragon Dust was so surprised that he was about to summon Dragon Blood to fight. At this moment, the head of Wangyue clan was surprised. His fingers were released, and the overwhelming power disappeared in an instant. Stop it! The head of the Wangyue clan broke off, and the powerful Wangyue clan who wanted to fight stopped their movements one after another. The head of Wangyue clan was originally gloomy, but a smile appeared on his face. He looked at Su Changchuan and Long Chen, nodded and said, "Not bad." Long Chen was stunned, then he realized that he didn't say anything, put Ming Hong's sword in the sheath and returned to his position. Before, because he wanted to save Su Changchuan, he was in the instinct to do it directly. Now in retrospect, the head of Wangyue clan didn't want to kill Su Changchuan at all, but was testing Long Chen. Su Changchuan's reaction was much slower. He had closed his eyes to wait for death, but now he was completely confused. From today on, you are my true friends of the Moon Watchers. The head of the Wangyue clan looks at Long Chen and other humanitarians. Before those who gloat, their faces changed. Many of them didn't understand what the patriarch was going to do. Good boy, it seems that I didn't teach you in vain. You should stand aside first. The head of Wangyue clan patted Su Changchuan on the shoulder. Su Changchuan is so confused that he is patted on the shoulder by the patriarch. How honored is it? It's probably the biggest prize of his life. Su Changchuan retreated to the side with a confused face. The head of the Wangyue clan, who was originally wearing a happy smile, suddenly changed his face. The smile completely disappeared and replaced it with a sense of extermination. There's no outsider here. Let's make a good liquidation. Please use the Zuling totem. When the word Zuling totem is heard, the strong people who used to clamor frantically all over their faces are full of fear, and their bodies can't help shaking. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4100 Boom. At this time, the sky trembled, the void became dreamy, and a picture of rhinoceros watching the moon appeared in front of everyone. As soon as the picture appeared, all the strong members of the moon watchers on the scene became solemn, and even the clan leader stood up. Then, led by the head of the Wangyue clan, all of them knelt together and stroked their chests with their left hands, which was a very ancient ritual. After the salute, the head of the Wangyue clan sat back in his position and said coldly, "I don't want to talk nonsense," but everyone who participated in this matter stood up. As the patriarch stopped drinking, some of the heavens strong and hundreds of the earth's strong came out with their heads down. In addition to them, thousands of the moon watchers came out with fear. "Brother Changchuan, what's the situation? Why are these people so scared?" Long Chen is not far away from Su Changchuan and asks in a low voice. The head of the Wangyue clan is an unfathomable strong man. He must feel the sound of his soul in front of him. It's very impolite. It's better to ask him in a big way. "Brother Long, you don't know that it's the totem of the ancestors of the moon watchers. Every one of us has been blessed by her. Zuling knows everything we do and think. No one can lie in front of Zuling. It's just that it's a big thing to ask for the ancestral totem. It will consume the chi source of the moon watchers, and it won't be opened easily. I can't imagine that the patriarch invited a totem of ancestral spirit today. I'm afraid the patriarch is really angry this time." Su Changchuan rode. "Angry? I'm afraid it's not that simple." Long Chen saw this posture and shook his head. "Why?" asked Su Changchuan. "As the leader of a race and the leader of its lifeline, we need to keep absolutely calm and never make major decisions when we are angry." Long Chen said that he thought it was not that simple. At this time, the head of the Wangyue clan was gloomy and frightening, while the strong members of the Wangyue clan were pale as paper. They didn't know what kind of punishment they would face next. You know, the moon watchers haven't asked for the totem of their ancestors for countless years. The last time the totem of their ancestors appeared, it was hundreds of thousands of years ago. In order to resist foreign enemies, they asked to move it. Now it is clear that there are no foreign enemies, but the patriarch invites the totem out. These people all feel that things are not so good. Long Chen glanced at these strong people and found that there were 17 strong people in Tianzun. These people had a strong breath, which was far beyond the comparison of those strong people in Tianzun. In Tianzun, compared with other races, the human race suffered a great loss. Those who don't know the whole story live. The chief of Wangyue clan. Hearing this, many people were overjoyed and retreated one after another. Many people only attacked when they heard that the enemy was coming and obeyed the command. Puff, puff, puff. As soon as they returned, 7 people's bodies burst into pieces, and the endless blood mist was absorbed by the totem of Zuling. These idiots dare to lie in front of Zuling totem, which is the biggest blasphemy to Zuling totem. Su Changchuan said angrily. Su Changchuan said before that every one of the moon watchers had been blessed by the totem of their ancestors. That's why they have today's achievements. The totem of Zuling is the spirit of their ancestors. These people even want to cheat Zuling with a fluke, which makes countless strong people of the moon watchers furious. The head of Wangyue clan looked more gloomy and said coldly, "Those who don't have contact with foreigners should go back." With the words of the head of the Wangyue clan, the 2 Tianzun strongmen were both surprised and happy. They also withdrew from the crowd, and the Dizuan strongmen also withdrew more than half of them. Today, there are only 15 Tianzun and more than 100 Dizuan in the square. These faces are full of panic. Looking at them for a long time, the head of Wangyue clan sighed and said, "You collude with each other and persecute Changchuan, which is related to the dispute between the heads of the clan. Although you are guilty, you will not die. Then his tone became cold, and his eyes were full of murders. But you collude with other people, shake the foundation of my family, corrode the foundation of our ancestors, commit a terrible crime, and deserve to die. Later, the head of the Wangyue clan's voice had turned into a roar. It was obvious that he was really angry and wanted to kill. When they heard this, the strong members of the Wangyue clan on the scene all looked at them in horror. They couldn't believe it. How could the dispute caused by the clan leader's fight become like this? No wonder the patriarch asked for the totem of ancestral spirit. My lord, we have not colluded with other nationalities. There has always been no set rules for the dispute between clan leaders. Although our methods are not right, we are also trying to screen out talents who are strong in force and intelligence to be the future helmsmen of our family. We are guilty, but we are not guilty to death. As for colluding with foreigners, it's impossible to say. We just made some deals with them. We also want to strengthen our moon-watching family. A strong man in heaven is righteous. I don't cry when I don't see the coffin. Do you know why I asked for the ancestral totem? I don't know if you're lying, but Ziling can. I ask you, did you come up with the layout for Changchuan, or did someone else help you with your suggestions? The head of the Wangyue clan hummed coldly. The Tianzuan strong man immediately sweat down on his forehead. He honestly said, most of them help out the idea. Well, I know that with your brains, you can't come up with such a careful plan. You will only choose violent assassination. Let me ask you again, did you think of the plan to kill Changchuan, or did they put forward it? The chief of Wangyue clan. It's them, those who are strong in heaven can only insist. Is it good for you to accept each other? The question is to ask all of you. If you don't have someone, you can quit. The head of Wangyue clan is cold. As a result, many of these strong people moved their bodies, but they didn't withdraw in the end. Obviously, they all took advantage of others. A bunch of idiots, how can you be so stupid? One of the older generation's heavenly strongmen roared. If they just don't like Su Changchuan and think that he is not suitable to be a clan leader, they deliberately obstruct him and even commit crimes. Even if they are guilty, they will not die. However, they accept the benefits of other people, and their nature will suddenly change. You're the fool. Your family is the fool. All of you here are the fools. The powerful man suddenly scolded, as if he had given up. Pointing to the patriarch, he sneered and said, "You are the biggest fool of the moon watchers. You don't know how to praise and are headstrong. Sooner or later, the moon watchers will be destroyed in your hands. Are you crazy? Dare to blaspheme the patriarch? Do you want to die?" For a time, countless strong people of the moon-watching group were surprised and angry. What about Ziling Totem? What can I do? Family trial? Are you qualified for that? Suddenly, the heaven's strong man made a seal with his hands, and a holy elephant appeared. The divine light stirred up and wrapped all of them. When he saw the holy elephant, Long Chin stood up. Great Brahma, www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4101. Although it's just a holy image, it's a little fuzzy, but Longchen can recognize that the man is Brahma. You traitors, are you betraying the Moon Watchers? The head of the Wangyue clan was furious. What's betrayal? It's clear that you're old-fashioned and ignorant of current affairs. The light of Brahma God has been shining on most of the 9 days and 10 places. Why should we fight against him? We're in the life zone, but what do we get out of it? Every year we have to die so many soldiers to guard the dark world. Who leads us in this world? That day, the powerful summoned the holy image, and suddenly became fearless, sneering. Fart, we guard the gate of darkness, and we will keep our promise. Are we unbelievers of the Moon Watchers? Hope Month Clan Strong cannot help but anger Wei. What about no letter? What if there's a letter? I can tell you the truth, if the Moon Watchers continue to be complacent, there will only be a dead end in the future. We are doing this to save the Moon Watchers. As you know, there are already many forces in other life-forbidden areas who are secretly loyal to Vatican. Vatican is in charge for 9 days, and it's just around the corner. Funny you, but also for the ancestors brain broken and made the oath, and pedantic to implement, dying, do not know. How many lives will the Moon Watchers sacrifice to guard the dark world every year? As there are so many places in the forbidden zone of life, we can't exploit them at all. Why can't we cooperate with Vatican for mutual benefit? That day exalted strong person sneer away, at this time of he, see a thing to fall, already gave up. Hearing this, Long Chen understood the feelings. These people have become believers of the great Brahma. One Brahma adult at a time is enough to prove his admiration for the great Brahma. The Brahma people didn't show up, but their hands had reached the forbidden area of life and began to infiltrate into the Moon Watchers. The Brahma method was too powerful. Son of a bitch, you betrayed the Moon Watchers and turned to Brahma. You deserve to die. You forget that the blood of the Moon Watchers is flowing in your body. The patriarch said angrily. Ha, so what? I have been baptized by the holy light of Vatican. My soul is with Vatican. Since you are stubborn, don't blame me for not reminding you. When Lord Brahma comes to the world, it will be the day when you are gone. Ha ha ha, the strong man laughed. Death, when the Wang Yue clan grew up, he was angry and hit them with a fist. He couldn't bear it, and he didn't want to ask the reason, so he wanted to kill them directly. However, to everyone's horror, the fist of the head of the Wang Yue clan went through the holy image, as if they had no entity. Ha ha, although you are strong, you are just a little stronger ant than Brahma. That's all I have to say today. If you don't know what to do, don't blame me for killing you in the future. A huge whirlpool is formed and the buzzing image disappears. The Vaticans are ready for everything, and they are so ready. What angered him most was that these people who committed capital crimes escaped in front of his clan leader, and he could do nothing about it. It was a cruel slap on his face. Patriarch, start the totem to chase the soul and take back their souls. A venerable old man suggested. The head of the Wang Yue clan shook his head and said, it's no use. They have been ready for a long time. Their souls have been baptized by the great Brahma, otherwise they would not be so crazy. Everyone's face was gloomy when they heard this. For a moment, the whole square was silent. Everyone's eyes were full of murderous intent. Traitors were the most hateful. Say, are you also Brahma people? Suddenly an old man roars at Long Chen and others. Ha ha ha. The old man's roar immediately amused Xia Chen and Guoran. He couldn't help laughing. Even Long Chen couldn't help smiling. Is this guy mad? Everyone looks like a great Brahma? However, it's not surprising that the great Brahma is a human race, and the dragon dust is also a human race. If the dragon dust is a great Brahma's human, it is tantamount to a bitter flesh trick. Deliberately save Su Changchuan, abandon some pieces, let the dragon dust to win the trust of the Moon Watchers. Under the heavy betting, it is really easy to succeed. What are you laughing at? The strong men of the Moon Watchers said angrily. Have you really never heard of my boss reputation? Or do you never care about outside news? Guoran couldn't help saying. Brother Guoran, the news of the Moon Watchers is really out of date. There must be some misunderstanding. Please give us some advice. Seeing Guoran with a sneer on his face, Su Changchuan was afraid of conflicts and rushed to the exit. Seeing that Su Changchuan said so, Guoran just put away his smile and said, there are 4 halls under Defantion. You should know that. Of course, they are Jiuyou Hall, Shueisha Hall, Shengdan Hall and Wushan Hall. This is old news many years ago. Who can know? An old man's cold tunnel. Do you know who is the Lord of Jiuyou Hall and the Lord of Shueisha Hall? Guoran asked. Of course, it's Liao Bensong and Imputa. Do you think we are children? Ask such boring questions? The old man was a little impatient. Do you know that these two have been reincarnated? What? The strong people present were all surprised. Even the head of Wang Yue clan was moved. Seeing people's surprised expression, Guoran showed a satisfied smile and continued. Liao Bensong and Imputa died in our hands. Do you think we will be together with Brahma? How is it possible to die at your hands? You are bragging. The strong men of the Moon Watching clan have a look of disbelief on their faces. You know, Imputa and Liao Bensong are divine practitioners. They have the seal of Brahma, and they can use the power of Brahma. Don't say it's a group of fairy king kids. Even if it's heaven strong, maybe they can defeat them, but it's absolutely impossible to kill them. Well, first of all, we are arrogant and never disdain to lie. Second, we are smart and will not tell lies that can be exposed on the spot. I believe that in a short time, the news of Xiantian will spread to Niantian. In addition, you can also take the initiative to inquire. Don't open your mouth and question others when you are old enough to understand. What you lose is not your own face, but the face of your moon watchers. Guoran hummed coldly. You. The old man was very angry. Guoran's words didn't give him any face, and his face couldn't hang up. The head of Wang Yue clan suddenly waved his hand and stopped the old man from talking. Instead, he looked at Longchen and said, I will fulfill Changchuan's promise. My lord, you can't. At that moment, the whole moon watching clan exploded. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4102, When Did I Break My Promise to Others? I have made up my mind that no one else should make any more noise. The head of the Wang Yue clan cheered coldly. Seeing that the head of Wang Yue clan announced in public, countless people's eyes were full of shock and helplessness, and finally they had to close their mouths. Changchuan accompanies the guests to have a rest. Let's discuss the specific matters and procedures. The chief of Wang Yue clan. Yes, Su Changchuan gets up quickly and leaves with Long Chen and others. After leaving the square, Su Changchuan said to Long Chen, Thank you for risking your life to save him. Before Long Chen saw that the head of the Wang Yue clan wanted to kill Su Changchuan, he directly took the hand, which made Su Changchuan very moved. He also knows that his relationship with Long Chen is only average. Long Chen helps him because of his commitment. The relationship between them is more cooperative. But in that case, Long Chen dare to fight the head of the Wang Yue clan, which is to ignore life and death. It's just a trial by your patriarch. Long Chen said with a smile. However, Su Changchuan shook his head and said, The patriarch has great strength and wisdom. When he kills me, he doesn't give you any time to think about it. Although it's a trial, he doesn't give you time to think about it at all. You can do it out of your own heart. Brother Long, I've made Su Changchuan your friend. Su Changchuan looked solemn. It seems that for so many years, only Long Chen has been willing to take such a big risk to save him. Long Chen nodded, Su Changchuan usually with pride and childishness, like a spoiled child, but there are still some backbone, the soul is still a hot-blooded man. When Long Chen and others have gone far away, an old man of Wang Yue clan can't help but stand up and say, Patriarch, you have to consider this matter carefully. The Terran is crafty and multifaceted. You can't help but guard against it. Yes, in terms of strength, we are not afraid of them, but in terms of intrigue, we are not their opponents at all. If the fan naive use bitter meat, we will be greatly deceived. Who knows if Longchen killed Imputa and Liaobenson? For a time, other celestial strongmen all agreed. The Moon Watchers never cooperate with the Terrans. They are not afraid of the Terrans in terms of force, but they are afraid of the Terrans' calculation. Not only the Moon Watchers, but also few of them are willing to cooperate with the Terrans. They hate and fear the Terrans, because the Terrans can annihilate a race without bloodshed. It can be said that the Terran butcher's knife is bloodless. They would rather believe in the devil than the Terrans. Seventh uncle, do you remember how I became the patriarch? The head of the Wang Yue clan said to an old man. The old man was stunned and immediately fell into memory. Nanan said, I remember you were very talented and powerful, but you were headstrong and didn't listen to people's advice. Many of your ideas ran counter to the rules of the Moon Watchers at that time. I remember that the patriarchs at that time hated you very much. They thought that if you became the patriarch, it would make the Moon Watchers decline. Later, the totem of the ancestral spirit was automatically revealed, and blessing was given to you. Finally, you won the position of patriarch. For this matter, it belongs to the secret of the Moon Watchers. The older generation who knew about it kept their mouths shut and didn't mention it. The younger generation didn't know about it. Now listen to the old man say, the strong people on the scene are Crazy Heart, the feelings of the patriarch, is not through the examination of the election, but the ancestral totem election. However, since the patriarch took charge of the Wangyue clan, the overall strength of the Wangyue clan is far less than that of the previous generation. The old man, known as the seventh uncle, said with a bitter smile. The strong people at the scene were surprised. Was this the face of the patriarch? It's good for us to know something. Why should we say it? But the head of Wangyue clan said with a smile, Seventh uncle, are you questioning my leadership? Why are we declining? Since I took charge of the Moon Watchers, I have gone through 3 dark battles. Not counting this one, we have seen through 7 infiltrations of Brahma and dozens of wars, both inside and outside. I am determined not to save any face for Brahma, which leads to the complete blockade of our elixir supply in the Temple of Holy Dan. As a result, we are now struggling and our strength will naturally decline. Seventh uncle coldly said, if you can continue the gentle strategy of the last generation of patriarch, we will not fight with Defantion, and the last generation of patriarch will not die in battle. Seven uncle's tone is extremely impolite. The strong people's faces on the scene have changed. The previous generation has not appeared, originally has died. This to them is a heavy blow. Bullshit, bullshit. Finally, the head of Wangyue clan couldn't bear it and said angrily, what do you know? What's soft policy? That is to linger, is to grovel. When do we need to rely on other people's breath? Do you think that in the first Dark War, the 76 elders died in the Dark War? They died under the totem, what? The presence of the strong, such as Thunderbolt, completely shocked. The 76 heavenly elders were all bought by the great Brahma. In the Dark War, they wanted to rebel and were killed by the ancestral spirit. Because they were in the dark battlefield, the holy image of Brahma could not protect them. Because of this, the patriarch of the previous generation felt guilty and could not help himself. In a battle to protect the clan, one man fought with 2 great Brahma's divine commanders. He was seriously injured and died on the battlefield, but he nearly disabled one of them. You only see that I didn't save him, but you don't know that I can save him once. How can I save him for a lifetime? I can only respect his choice. I've been scolding for so many years. Do you think I'm happy? The head of Wangyue clan was impatient. Later he yelled at him. Obviously he also repressed for a long time. The head of Wangyue clan coldly said, I admire the character and style of the previous generation, but I don't hesitate to say that his development strategy is completely wrong. After I took charge of the whole clan, I took a tough attitude towards both internal and external affairs, and tried to fight with anyone who didn't agree. Although we are weak now, my signal to Brahma is that I, the Moon Watchers, would rather be broken than broken. However, even so, the penetration of Brahma is still pervasive, and some people are brainwashed and corroded. If I had kept up with the generation of patriarchs, there would have been no Moon Watchers now, and you would have become ministers at the foot of Brahma. The Moon Watchers who have lost their blood and backbone are still the Moon Watchers? How do you choose to live humbly or die haughtily? The old man, who was called Seventh Uncle, suddenly fell to his knees and said, It's me who misunderstood the patriarch. I'm disrespectful to the patriarch. I'm unforgivable. Today I'll thank you for my death. All of a sudden, the old man ran straight to his eyebrow and stabbed him. At that moment, the whole audience exclaimed, www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4103. No one thought that the seventh uncle was so strong that he killed himself directly. But just as he started, a powerful hand grabbed his wrist. Patriarch, everyone cheered. At the critical moment, Patriarch stopped him. However, although the Patriarch's speed is fast, the seventh uncle's eyebrow is still pierced with a blood hole. Fortunately, the Patriarch will unload his power at the moment when his power is about to explode. Seventh uncle, do you want me to punish you with clan rules? As the mainstay of the Wangyue clan, your life is not your own, but the whole Wangyue clan. Who gave you the courage to end your life easily? Patriarch, I know my mistake. Please punish me. Uncle Chi looked ashamed. The head of Wangyue clan took a deep breath and suppressed his anger. Go back and sit down. Yes, Uncle Chi respectfully saluted and then returned to his position. When I say this, I'm not shirking responsibility or flaunting my achievements. I want to tell you that the wisdom of our ancestors is not comparable to that of you and me. Our vision is not longer than that of our ancestors. Originally, I was in seclusion. At the moment when the dragon dust entered the moon-watching clan, I was awakened by the totem of the ancestral spirit, so I caught up with all this. The chief of Wangyue clan. They were surprised. They knew that the patriarch was really shutting down before. Is it? The head of the Wangyue clan said, I don't know why the totem of Zuling awakened me. When I found out the traitors, I used to communicate with the totem of Zuling to kill them. But Zuling totem has no fluctuation. I don't know why Zuling totem didn't kill them. Obviously, Zuling totem didn't appear because of the traitor, it appeared for Longchen and others when the head of Wangyue clan said this. The strong people on the scene looked unbelievable one by one. The head of Wangyue clan said, I don't know why the appearance of Longchen attracted the attention of the ancestral totem, but the reminder of the ancestors is absolutely not without reason. Just now I have communicated with Chang Chuan, who has awakened the strongest vision of our moon watchers. Is it? Exclaimed the strong man present. Chang Chuan is my hope for the rise of the moon watchers. Without Longchen, Chang Chuan might have been killed by conspiracy. Chang Chuan didn't die. That's the luck of my moon watchers. They protect Chang Chuan and guide him in the dark. If the dragon dust is a bad person, endangering our comfort, the ancestral totem will never sit back and ignore, so you know what I mean, the chief of Wangyue clan. The crowd nodded. Before, they were all against fulfilling their promise. The main reason was that they were afraid of cooperating with the Terran. For the ancestral totem, that is their most firm belief, they never doubt the choice of ancestral totem. But you can rest assured that we will observe the dragon dust and will not hand over our destiny to others. The future of the moon watchers will always be in our own hands. The chief of Wangyue clan. Hearing what the head of Wangyue clan said, the strong people on the scene also put down their hearts one after another, and their hostility to Longchen was reduced a lot. So Longchen and others stayed in the moon-watching clan. On the same day, Su Changchuan took Longchen and others to visit the whole territory of the moon-watching clan, which they called Silver Moon World. In the world of Silver Moon, the aura is full to the extreme, even stronger than the cultivation chamber of Huayan business. At that time, Yu Qingxian, Xia Chen and Guo Ran wept with admiration. Here, whether it is alchemy, casting or inscriptions, they are much stronger than anywhere else. They usually can only cast in a narrow space, can't feel the vast world, can't feel the real way of heaven, although the cultivation room is called the epitome of the way of heaven, but man-made things, after all, can't compare with natural things. At that time, Xia Chen joked about whether he could rent a place with the Moon Watchers and pay them a relatively good rent and give them whatever he wanted. At that time, Su Changchuan was extremely embarrassed. According to the clan rules, the Moon Watchers could not mix with any race. After visiting innumerable scenic spots of Silver Moon World, Su Changchuan takes Long Chen and others to a dark gate. After this door, there is the forbidden area of life behind. The forbidden area of life is a place of curse. Except for a few races, they can't step into the forbidden area at all. Otherwise, they will be deprived of Shouyuan and turn into dust. But you don't have to worry. You have been blessed by the totem of Zuling. In 100 years, the curse of the forbidden area of life will not threaten you. Let's go and have a look. With Su Changchuan leading the way ahead, Long Chen and others also walked into the dark gate. When they entered the gate, the rich aura disappeared in an instant, and replaced by a cold breath. The breath made the bones cold, like a basin of cold water. Guo Ran and others could not help fighting a cold war. There is plenty of aura here, which is almost the same as the Silver Moon World, but because of the chaos law, this aura cannot be absorbed and can only feel the chaos. Long Chen carefully felt away. I understand that the reason why the Silver Moon World has such a strong aura is because of the obstruction of the dark door? Xia Chen was shocked. Brother Xia is right. The dark door blocks the chaos and brings in the aura. That's why the aura of the Silver Moon World is so abundant. It's just a pity that I don't ask much for aura in the practice of the Moon Watchers. Therefore, these auras are wasted here. Su Changchuan said with a bitter smile. Originally, Guoran wanted to ask the Moon Watchers what they rely on for their cultivation, but Xiachen pulled him. Guoran swallowed the words and asked about the secrets of others' cultivation. This is taboo. In addition to the Silver Moon world, there are 2 worlds for us to watch the moon. These 2 worlds were led by our last patriarch. I'll take you to have a look. Walking through the dark world, time seems to be stagnant and space is constantly distorted. When people walk, they can't find the sense of direction, even if they walk on their heads and feet. It's very uncomfortable here. I can't even recognize the direction. Fortunately, Su Changchuan is the guide. Otherwise, Long Chen and others dare not walk here. Once they can't find the exit, it's over. In the chaotic space, after walking for more than an hour, suddenly a door appeared in front of them. When they entered the door, their eyes suddenly lit up and they entered a desolate world. Roar. Before Long Chen and others had a good look at the world in front of them, there was a roar in front of them, the earth was shaking, and then the harsh alarm sounded. The Diablo has invaded. As soon as Su Changchuan's face changed, he rushed over for the first time. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4104 Long Chen and others galloped away. As soon as they flew out, they saw that in front of them, there was also a door. In that door, countless monsters rushed out of the huge door. At this time, countless strong men of Wangyue clan fight with these monsters with sharp blades in their forehands. These monsters have 2 feet, but 4 arms. They are over Zhang tall, but they have a huge head. The head is like an ox or an ass. There are horns on the head, but they don't grow up. Instead, they extend horizontally to both sides. It's very strange. Their breath is strong, and their fluctuation should be similar to that of the strong king in the Terran world. Their claws are like hooks, and their muscles swell up. One claw cuts across the void, making a sharp sound explosion. What a force of flesh and blood! Guoran and others were surprised. These monsters are much more powerful than the General King. The most terrible thing is that these monsters are pouring out of the door of space, and there are millions of them. I don't know how many are behind the door of space. The strong men of the Moon Watching clan fight these monsters with all their strength, but they are still pushed back by these monsters. There are no strong men in heaven here. They are killed by surprise. Brother Long, do me a favor? Cried Su Changchuan. In fact, without his mouth, Guoran and others have rushed out. They have never seen such creatures, and they just want to see their strength. Puff, puff, puff. The dragon blood soldiers rushed into the battlefield and stabbed into the ranks of the dark monsters like sharp knives. While the swords were flying, the fierce dark monsters were cut into pieces. The black blood splashed and stained the earth with ink. The dragon blood soldiers, rushing into the battlefield, didn't cooperate with each other, but fought in their own ways and killed wildly. The dragon blood soldiers, like the tiger into the sheep, are more ferocious and violent than these dark monsters. Almost every sword falls, those monsters fall in pieces. Su Changchuan was still planning a big move. When he saw the dragon blood soldiers chopping the dark monsters like chopping melons and vegetables, he was shocked on the spot. He knew the power of Longchen, but he didn't expect that everyone under Longchen was so terrible. As soon as they rush into the battlefield, they interrupt the charge of the Diablo. They typically fight violence without any skills. More than 400 dragon blood soldiers rushed forward in an arc. In an instant, a large area of the battlefield was cleared. Not only Su Changchuan was stunned, but all the strong men of the Moon Watchers were also stunned. In front of these people, they are all a group of fairyland, but in the face of the king-level dark monsters, they can crush them. They have never seen such a powerful means in their life. The dragon blood soldiers are invincible and fierce. Every move can cause a large area of casualties. In the face of endless enemies around them, they can walk freely under the enemy's attack. They seem to be surrounded by dangers, but they can always solve them at the moment when the danger comes. Looking at the startled faces of Su Changchuan and the Moon Watchers, a trace of pride emerges in Long Chen's heart. The dragon blood soldiers are also invincible even in the fairyland. Hoo-hoo! With the sound of the alarm, the void trembled, and the powerful came, but when they arrived, they also fell into stagnation. Where the Dragon Blood Legion passed, the blood and flesh were flying, and the dark monsters kept pouring in, but the front line was gradually shrinking. The Dragon Blood Legion went up against the current, and its amazing efficiency moved even the heavenly strongmen. It's really a good place. If the enemy is stronger and the quantity can be controlled, it will be even better. Looking at the battlefield, Xia Chen couldn't help sighing. Dragon blood soldiers, usually no enemy, can only compare with each other to confirm, but this confirmation, very limited, the space to improve is also limited. After all, it is impossible for the dragon blood soldiers to fight against each other. So Long Chen asked the dragon blood soldiers to fight with each other as little as possible, so as not to affect their normal play. For the dragon blood warriors, maybe their strength is not the strongest, but the key to their cross-level fighting is their rich fighting experience. At the moment of fighting with the enemy, they can see the weakness of the other side and kill the enemy. Every dragon blood soldier is killed from the sea of blood with the dragon dust. They are not afraid of group fighting, and even more, they are not afraid of death. It seems that they are born for fighting. Only in fighting can they understand the true meaning of life. Moreover, whenever they encounter powerful opponents or evil creatures, they will be eager to fight fiercely from their heart, because different opponents will improve their fighting skills. For the dragon blood soldiers, Long Chen did not give them too much guidance. Long Chen only provided pills and property. Xia Chen and Guo Ran only taught them how to arrange the formation, how to cooperate with each other, and their personal skills. They all depended on their own exploration and practice. Therefore, among so many people in the Dragon Blood Corps, everyone's fighting style and route were not exactly the same. Perhaps only in this way can they complement each other and cooperate seamlessly. However, like now, they are fighting on their own. They are accumulating more experience and attacking from all sides. Only in this way can they feel the pressure. Otherwise, it is meaningless. For the Dragon Blood Legion, this is just a routine, but for the Moon Watchers, they almost lost their chin at the moment. They have never seen such a fierce legion. In the time of burning incense, the Dragon Blood Legion has approached the gate of space. On the earth, endless corpses have been left. No one knows how many dark monsters they have killed. At this time, the door of space no longer vibrates, and no dark monsters come in again. After a few breaths, all the invading dark monsters are killed. Choking. The Dragon Blood soldiers put their swords into the scabbard, and their movements were uniform. After taking back their swords, their violent breath disappeared instantly, and they returned to their normal appearance. Their faces were calm, as if nothing had happened. There is not a trace of tension, there is not a trace of excitement, as if the completion of a trivial matter. How do you feel? Long Chen asks Guo Ran. These dark monsters are full of tyranny in their minds. They have very low intelligence. They don't know fear, they only know how to attack by instinct. Their bodies are also very strange. Their skulls are very hard. Their horns and claws are comparable to those of the world's magic soldiers. However, their necks, armpits and knees are the Achilles heel. The typical attack is high and defense is low. They are very suitable for training, Guo Ran said. Long Chen nodded, and Guo Ran was also moved. If there is such a place, after the Dragon Blood soldiers gather, they can use these monsters to practice, so that the Dragon Blood soldiers can speed up their promotion. After the Dragon Blood soldiers entered the late stage of the Immortal King, their promotion speed slowed down obviously, and the absorption of elixir began to slow down. This is because they did not experience high-intensity fighting and could not stimulate them. There was no need for them to compete with each other. Brother Long, if you like, here we can give you this world. After listening to the dialogue of Long Chen and others, Su Changchuan was surprised. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4105, Give Me This World? Long Chen and others were surprised. Can Su Changchuan be the master? Brother Long, I don't want to talk about the empty. To tell you the truth. In fact, these 3 worlds are the barriers of my Silver Moon world. In the past, we only had the Silver Moon world to face the attacks of the dark monsters, although we were strong enough to smash their attacks every time. But we know that it's very dangerous, so we paid a huge price and won 3 worlds. In this way, the Diablo monsters want to attack the Silver Moon world, need to pass the front 3 levels. Su Changchuan Road. Isn't your front lengthened? In the past, we only need to protect 1 world, but now we need to protect 4. Xiachen can't help asking. You're right, but there's no way to face the Diablo. In case there's something wrong with the Gate of Space, the Diablo army will attack Huanglong, and the Moon Watchers will be in danger of extermination. I give one of the worlds to Brother Long. In fact, I also want to use Brother Long's power to help my Moon Watchers stop the dark monsters. But Brother Long, you can rest assured that our Moon Watchers will also provide some help and will not let you fight alone. Su Changchuan Road. When Su Changchuan said this, Guoran and other talents suddenly realized that Su Changchuan is not stupid about feelings. To give Longchen a world, let them be a shield. Longchen has a calm face, which is expected by him. The Moon Watchers are guarding such a big piece of cake in the forbidden area of life. If they want to cooperate with them, they must pay a certain price. However, after hearing Su Changchuan's words, Longchen shook his head. Why, Brother Long is not satisfied. However, no matter which side of the world we live in, we are connected with the Moon Watchers. We need to extract the 9-day rule through the Silver Moon world, otherwise we can't activate one side of the world at all. Su Changchuan is in a hurry. Longchen waved his hand and said, Brother Changchuan, don't misunderstand me. I don't want to be here because it's bought by the elders of the Moon Watchers with their lives and blood. I can't afford such a world. So you mean? Su Changchuan was surprised. What my boss means is that we need to fight our own world. Guoran said with a smile. He knows the character of Longchen. Longchen doesn't like to be ungrateful. He just cooperates with the Moon Watchers. Longchen doesn't want to take advantage of others. If it's in terms of resources, it doesn't matter if it's not enough. It can be paid back at any time in the future. However, Longchen said that he would not take anything from others' life. Otherwise, he would feel uneasy. The debt of human relationship is too complicated. Longchen stands up to heaven and is not afraid of anything. He is afraid of this kind of debt of human relationship. That's okay. It's just that it's too hard to win a world, and even if we do, it's still a question whether we can hold on. In addition, if you want to activate one side of the world, you need the core of the star domain. Brother Long, do you have it in your hand? Su Changchuan Road. Star core? This is not really there. Longchen was surprised. The core of the star domain is very precious. It's the core of a star domain. If you want to get a core, you need to destroy a star domain. You can't buy it. It doesn't matter. I have a star core left in the treasure house of Moon Watchers. If you need it, we can lend it to you. Just then a voice came. Patriarch, the crowd exclaimed, and they didn't know when the Patriarch of Wangyue came. Longchen gave a little salute. The core of the star field is too precious. If the Patriarch borrows me, I don't know when I can afford it. Listen to Changchuan, you can alchemy? The head of Wangyue clan looks at Longchen Road. Indeed, Longchen nodded. Have you ever heard of Xinghui Yueshan pill? The chief of Wangyue clan. I know, it's a kind of pill with the power of coagulating the stars and the moon and the sacred attribute. However, I only know 3 kinds of formulas. Moreover, I don't have all the precious medicines in my hand, especially the 2 main medicines Xingwico and Luna Sunflower. I can't refine them at all. Longchen Road. When I heard that Longchen could also make pills, the eyes of all the powerful members of the Wangyue clan on the scene suddenly lit up. When I heard that Longchen knew the 3 kinds of recipes, the Wangyue clan leader's heart jumped wildly. Do you really know 3 recipes? The head of Wangyue clan can't calm down. I really only know 3 kinds. These 3 kinds of Xinghui Yueshan pills have 3 uses. building foundation, living beings, and burning blood. This is what I saw in the ancient books of Lingxiao Academy, because the pills are not used by our people, so I have never collected the precious medicines from the Dan prescriptions. If the patriarch can provide the precious medicines, I'd like to have a try. Longchen wrote. In fact, the prescription of Xinghui Yueshan Dan is in the memory of Emperor Dan. Longchen didn't want to be questioned and said that he saw it in the academy. It turns out that everything is true, Longchen. If you can refine these 3 kinds of pills, I will regard you as my iron ally all my life. The head of Wang Yue clan is a little excited. Others may not understand why the patriarch is so excited, because they don't know the secret of Wang Yue clan. As a clan leader, he knows that Xinghui Moon God pill does have 3 kinds of pills. However, 2 kinds of pills have been lost. Today's Wang Yue clan only has the most basic Xinghui Moon God pill for foundation building. If the dragon dust can refine the birth spirit and the burning blood level star bright moon god pill, then the whole moon watching clan will rise like a comet. At this time, the head of the Wang Yue clan finally understood why the dragon dust came, and the ancestral totem would wake him up. The emotional dragon dust brought the hope of the revival of the Wang Yue clan. I can't guarantee that. As long as the patriarch can provide precious medicine, I'm willing to have a try. Longchen Modest Tunnel. Well, you can tell me what kind of medicine you need. The head of Wang Yue clan is excited. To build a foundation-level Xinghui Yueshan pill, we need Xinghui grass, Yueshan sunflower, Schisandra chinensis, and Kixingen. Longchen said thousands of precious medicines in one breath. The head of Wang Yue clan was surprised and happy to hear that these were indeed precious medicines for refining Xinghui Moon God pill. In other words, Longchen didn't talk big. If there are any of the above, please prepare more for me. I don't need to prepare for the others. I have them myself. Longchen wrote. Okay, they'll get ready in a minute. The head of the Wang Yue clan disappears after saying this. He even goes to prepare the precious medicine himself. Su Changchuan and other powerful members of the Wang Yue clan are extremely excited. Brother Long, you are really the lucky star of my Wang Yue clan. You know, we were stuck to death by De Fantian on the pill. Your arrival is a timely help. Su Changchuan is excited. It turned out that there was no elixir available for the Wang Yue clan. They had cooperated with Huayun Commercial Bank, but the elixir refined by Huayun Commercial Bank could not meet their needs at all. As a result, the Wang Yue clan fell into a very difficult life. Let's go. We don't have to look at the rest. Let's go back to alchemy first. Longchen holds Yu Qingchuan's hand. He knows that it's time for Yu Qingxian to perform. At the same time, an idea flashed through his mind. The enemy of the enemy is a friend. Maybe the Moon Watchers can cooperate in depth, and then take the Moon Watchers as the center to contact more people who are against the Great Brahma. Hey, I can't beat you now, but I also want to wipe you give me a big nose www. Novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4106 Boom. Under the gaze of countless moon watchers, endless thunderclouds roll and thunder surges, locking Yu Qingxian in alchemy. When the lid of the furnace is lifted, the golden light rises into the sky and goes straight into the sky. At that moment, endless thunder roars down, but it is swallowed by a huge thunder dragon and does not rush to the side of the furnace. Jin Dan, it's a golden elixir-level star-shining moon god pill. The voice of the head of the Wang Yue clan trembled, and some of the older generation's strong men burst into tears. For the young generation of strong people, they do not know the elixir, they do not know, usually eat the elixir, and now the golden elixir has what kind of gap? 3 gold elixirs, the rest are precious elixirs. The quality of these elixirs is superior, which has exceeded my usual level. Inyue world is indeed a treasure land for alchemy. Yu Qingxian looks at the pills in her hand, and her face is full of admiration. Alchemy here is full of aura and the way of heaven is complete. Alchemy can get twice the result with half the effort. Alchemy here is like a duck to water. Please comment on it. Longchen takes Xinghui Moon God Dan from Yu Qingxian and gives it to the head of Wang Yue clan. The head of the Wangyue clan stretched out his hands and took the pills from the precious place. When he felt that the pills were more powerful than the pills he usually took, his hands trembled with excitement. The older generation of the other Wangyue clan also gathered around. When they started with the pill, their excitement could not be concealed. Longchen, if you can provide a large number of Xinghui Moon God pills, my Moon Watchers are your most loyal allies. As long as they don't violate the ancestral precepts, my Moon Watchers are willing to go through fire and water for you. The head of the Wangyue clan took a deep breath and said solemnly. He had to be serious. Because of pills, the Moon Watchers had been stuck for countless years, from glory to decline. Now they see hope, and he must seize this opportunity. The patriarch is serious. Alchemy is nothing to us. In the future, the pills of the Moon Watchers will be wrapped on me. Longchen rode. As a matter of fact, Longchen's heart is full of joy. With the support of the Moon Watchers, Longchen has a foothold in Nirvana. What patriarch? I'm too distant. My name is Su Jinxiong. You can call me Uncle Xiong in the future. From today on, we are a family. The matter of your dragon dust is the matter of my Moon Watchers. Su Jinxiong patted his chest and said, Thank you, Uncle Xiong. Longchen Yibro Kundo. Seeing that Longchen didn't refuse, Su Jinxiong said with a smile, Ha, since you are a family, don't use the word xia. It seems that you are too outsider. Su Jianxiong, as a clan leader, has a higher skill of observing people than others. Although he doesn't know about Longchen, he can see the general character of Longchen through the 2 days' observation. Longchen is a very proud person in his heart. He also attaches great importance to commitment. He easily refuses to owe others. Such a person is not easy to pay, but once he has paid, he can entrust his life and death to his partner. Longchen also has a good impression of the Moon Watchers. The most important thing is that the Great Brahma is infiltrating the Moon Watchers, which shows that the Moon Watchers are absolutely not part of the Great Brahma group. They are very reliable and trustworthy. For a time, the whole family of Moon Watchers fell into the carnival. With pills, they will never be stuck again. From then on, the family of Moon Watchers will rise rapidly. Uncle Xiong, this matter needs absolute secrecy. Longchen rode. Don't worry, I've passed it on to the Zuling totem. No one in the Wangyue clan can tell the secret, even the soul search. Su Jinxiong said. Longchen realized that some emotional forces kept secrets in this way. No wonder his soul searching often failed. Longchen, it said that you don't want the 3 worlds we fight down. This is the forbidden area controlled by our Moon Watchers. Let's see what you like and study it together. Su Jianxiong directly took out a map. He was more worried than Longchen. He hoped that Longchen could stay in the family of Wangyue and make pills for them, because the gap of pills for the family of Wangyue was too big. The earlier people use pills, the earlier they can start. They are racing against time, which is related to the future of the Moon Watchers. When taking out the map, Longchen sees a long black river, which is the forbidden area of life. The location of the Moon Watchers is just a section of the forbidden area of life. In the words of the Moon Watchers, in order to fulfill their promises, the Moon Watchers guarded this area. Therefore, this area has a special mark, and only they can control it. In this area, there are hundreds of silver moon signs, but only 3 of them are bright, which means that these 3 worlds are controlled by them, and the rest are in a state of desolation. Uncle Xiong, this moon is bigger than others. What's special about it? Longchen points to a moon sign. When Longchen pointed to the sign of the moon, Su Jianxiong and others' faces changed slightly. Don't think about this place. It's a barren world. It's a seal made by the ancestors of my Moon Watchers. Once the seal is opened, the door of the dark world will be opened. At that time, not only our Moon Watchers will be destroyed in an instant, I'm afraid 9 days and 10 places will also be destroyed. So serious? Longchen can't help but take a breath of cold air. It said that the Chaos War, because someone opened the door of darkness, led to 9 days and 10 places were beaten half useless. Today's 9 heaven and 10 earth, the way of heaven is not complete, and 10,000 families have declined. If we open the door of darkness, We don't have the strength of Chaos Era, and will be destroyed in an instant. Su Jianxiong has a serious face. The Moon Watchers stay in the forbidden zone of life just to keep this sealed world? Longchen asked. Right? Then Brahma will not be afraid to make you anxious. He will break the jar directly, and everyone will stop and open the seal directly? Longchen can't help but say. He is not afraid of it, because he knows that our Moon Watchers will keep their promise and protect the seal even if they die. Su Jianxiong sighed with endless anger and helplessness. Longchen would like to ask who the Wangyue clan promised to, but this may be related to the secret of the Wangyue clan. It's better not to ask. However, it's really admirable that the Wangyue clan can stay here for a promise from generation to generation. Looking at the map, Longchen's eyes swept all the moons. At last, his eyes suddenly lit up and pointed to a place. How about here? When Su Jianxiong and others saw the places where Longchen pointed, their faces showed strange looks. Su Jianxiong sighed and said, You'd better change the place. That place, even if you gather the strength of my whole family, can't be taken down. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4107, No, it's several moons away from the Dark Gate. Longchen can't help but say. In fact, the place you choose is the crack of the dark door, and it's also the first crack. You can imagine the forbidden area of life as a maze full of gates. The Dark Gate is a narrow passage. The gate of the passage is sealed, but there is a crack beside the gate. Those dark monsters come through the crack. The crack of the door is also divided into different sizes. In the 3 worlds we fight, the crack of the door is relatively small. Only the king-level Diablo can rush through. Only when the crack of the door is inflated, occasionally some dark monsters of God level will come. Even so, there are too many dark monsters. Sometimes, thousands of dark monsters of God level will rush together. If they don't pay attention, they will cause huge casualties. The most helpless thing is that the cracks of these doors are surging like tides, big and small. Those dark monsters behind the doors, waiting for the opportunity, will launch a surprise attack at any time, making it impossible to prevent. And the world you choose often has God-level monsters, which, in your Terran terms, is equivalent to the existence of Terran level. And once it appears, it will be tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands, which is not the most uncomfortable because when the door is sewn big, there will be the Earth-level monster rushing over, and even the Heaven-level monster may appear. Maybe we can occupy there at one time, but it's easier to attack than to hold. Don't mention that place. Even the 3 worlds we won often break out monster attacks, which will bring certain casualties every year. The number of Diablo monsters is endless, and we can't afford such casualties. We can't afford to consume them. Su Jianxiong said. It turns out that it's not difficult to fight a world. The difficulty lies in whether we can defend a world. Every world has a space channel, and the dark monsters keep coming, and there are no rules to speak of. The so-called only a 1,000-day thief, but not a 1,000-day anti-thief, all day long to defend, people's spirit is always tense, consume a lot of manpower and material resources, not to mention, at the same time there will be a lot of casualties, the Moon Watchers simply can't afford, so they never hit the idea of that place. Let's not talk about it. Even the 3 worlds they fought down, people feel that they are weak. If it's not for strategic considerations, they will even give up the 3 worlds, because they really can't afford it. At the beginning, they laid down 3 worlds and exploited all the resources of the 3 worlds. Now, the 3 worlds have little value except for strategic deployment. Therefore, even if they give them to Longchen, they don't feel distressed. Instead, they will thank Longchen. What's more, because it's too close to the Dark Gate, once that world is occupied, I'm afraid the dark monsters of other worlds will be attracted, and they may have to face the impact of the dark monsters every day. An old man of Wangyue clan said, Every day there's a monster impact? Dragon dust immediately heart, not to say in that world can get other benefits, just those monsters' body, has let dragon dust some can't resist temptation. In the chaotic space of Longchen, both Taiyin Wood and Fusang Ancient would need a lot of flesh and blood. The Taigu giant corpses in the chaotic space have been consumed, and they barely grow to the height of 10,000 li. When there was no supply of corpses, Long Chen found that Taiyin Ancient Wood and Fusang Ancient Wood began to shrink, even smaller, and now it has shrunk to only 5,000 li. Later, Long Chen found out the reason. Huolinger had to practice and absorbed a lot of fire from the sun and the Taiyin, which led to their atrophy. But Huolinger's cultivation has reached a bottleneck. If it stops, it may affect Huolinger's future growth. So Long Chen let Huolinger rest assured and practice boldly. The rest of him came to think of a way. Now he heard that there were endless monsters, which was really dozing off, so someone sent a pillow. Yes, there are monster attacks every day, and it's still a constant stream. The old man said solemnly that he didn't want Long Chen to take risks. And the good thing? Long Chen surprised Tunnel. Good thing? All the powerful members of the Wangyue clan, including Su Jianxiong, could hardly believe their ears, thinking that they had heard wrong. Are you really going to take this place? Su Jianxiong said. Well, I want to try. Long Chen nodded. Well, give us half a year to prepare. At that time, with the help of pills, we should have 60% confidence to win it. Su Jianxiong said in a deep voice. No, Uncle Xiong, I want to take this place by myself. I don't need the moon watchers and soldiers. Long Chen shakes his head. What do you mean? You look down on me. Long Chen's words made Su Jianxiong angry. Uncle Xiong, since I can call you uncle, I don't treat you as an outsider. If I want to borrow anything from you, you don't have to say. I'll take it directly. I'll take it if I don't want to. But I don't want the moon watchers to take part in this world. If the moon watchers have any casualties, I will feel guilty all my life. Long Chen rode. Long Chen really doesn't want the moon watchers to participate. If the moon watchers have large-scale casualties at that time, I'm afraid this human relationship will not be able to afford for a lifetime. The idea of Long Chen is very simple. It is impossible to compare life and resources. So Long Chen does not refuse any help from resources, but he dare not accept anything else. Brother Long, do you think the moon watchers are greedy for life and afraid of death? This time, even Su Changchuan couldn't hang on his face. Long Chen said in a hurry, I didn't mean that. You just looked down on us. Su Changchuan couldn't help saying. For a moment, Long Chen didn't know what to say. Fortunately, Yu Qingxian stood up at this time and said, Long Chen, you really are. Are you the elders of the Moon Watching clan? Of course, we have to rely on the efforts of the Patriarch and the Tianzuan elders here to attack this place. Without them, we can't succeed at all. When Yu Qingxian says this, Su Jianxiong and others look much better. The Moon Watchers are also arrogant. They get the elixir they dream of. They feel that they owe too much to Long Chen. If they don't do something for Long Chen, they will feel uneasy. And Long Chen didn't want them to interfere in this matter, which made them feel despised, so they felt angry. Long Chen patted his forehead with a look of chagrin. He was really a fool. If he let the Patriarch and these heavenly elders participate, there would be no casualties. He thought too much. I'm really sorry. I was wrong just now. Of course, I need your elders to help me. I mean, I don't need those below Tianzuan. Long Chen quickly laughs. Brother Longyu. Su Changchuan quit immediately. You are the exception, Long Chen said in a hurry. When Long Chen said this, a smile appeared on Su Changchuan's face. When are you going to do it? Su Jianxiong said. Tomorrow. What? The next day, more than 30 of the Moon Watchers, including Long Chen and Su Jianxiong, walked into the forbidden area of life and came to a huge dark vortex. This is the entrance of the world. It is like a devil's mouth, quietly open as if waiting for food to come. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4108, Ready? Long Chen rode. Boss, we're all ready. Don't worry. Guoran is full of confidence. Long Chen nodded and then went straight to the dark gate. Su Jianxiong, who was behind Long Chen, and the heavenly masters of the Moon Watchers, could not help shaking their heads. The child is the child, does any matter, is a cavity blood, actually does not know that piece of world has how terror. But Su Changchuan followed him excitedly. His excitement was far greater than his nervousness, which made Su Jianxiong and others sigh that it's good to be young. It's a pity that they have experienced too much and can't go back to the age of being young and frivolous. The older they are, the less daring they will be. They can't help it. They have experienced too much pain. No matter how strong they are, they will feel fear. We should be prepared to take them out immediately if the situation is not good. The most important thing is to ensure the safety of Longchen. Su Jinxiong said to the strong of Wangyue people. Longchen is the hope of the rising of Wangyue clan. Even if it's dead, it's necessary to protect Longchen's integrity. The reason why they come here with Longchen is that they want the reality to dampen the spirit of Longchen and others. Many unrealistic ideas of young people can't be reversed. Only after the blow of reality can they have a long memory. What Su Jianxiong expects is that the blow should not be too big, so as not to bring Longchen and others down. Roar. The crowd had just passed through the dark gate, but they didn't see the surrounding situation clearly. The endless roar came from all directions, and the violent killing intention came from all directions like the tide. Get ready. Su Jianxiong secretly orders that what he wants to do is to try to protect everyone from death, otherwise the moon watchers will not look good. Double dragons lock the universe, yin and yang dominate the sky, ning. Just entering this world, Xiachen broke off drinking and threw out 3,600 array dishes at one time. With his breaking off drinking, a huge light curtain was propped up. In the hemispherical light curtain, 2 dragons are wandering, one black and one white, one yin and one yang. When the 2 dragons are swimming, 3,600 array discs are filled with endless energy. The divine light surges into the sky and lights up the whole dark world. Here is a desolate world. You can see the continuous mountains, but you can't see any plants. When the big array lights up, endless monsters come from afar. They have strong breath, foot on the earth and shake the earth. They roar and roar like wolves who have been hungry for countless years. Finally, they see flesh and blood. Sure enough, all of them are the existence of the divine realm. A strong man of Wangyue clan, his face changed. Although they had been prepared, they were still frightened when they saw the endless dark monsters. Although these monsters, according to the classification of human race, are also the strength of human respect, there are too many of them. Even if they are surrounded by these monsters who only know how to kill, have no pain and fear, they will die without support. How long? Longchen asked. 10 breath, Xiachen wrote. Well, by you 10 minutes. Longchen knows that it takes 10 breath time for Xiachen to condense the array to the strongest state, but in this 10 breath time, the array can't be severely impacted. Huaishu and Xiongxu, you are here to help us fight. You don't need to help us, but when a celestial monster comes, you need to help us to kill accurately, please. With that, Longchen rushed out of the battle. After the dragon dust rushes out, the dragon blood soldiers also kill one after another. In the big formation, Xia Chen and Guoran don't rush out. Xia Chen is busy arranging the formation, but Guoran is splicing a high platform. They are very busy. No one knows what he is going to do. What about me? Su Changchuan is silly. Other people kill him. He doesn't know whether he should stay here or follow him. Longchen seems to have forgotten him. Watch it quietly. Su Jinxiong said. Patriarch we. A strong man can't help saying. Listen to Longchen. Everyone should be ready to fight and meet Longchen at any time. Su Jianxiong said, looking at the skilled cooperation of Longchen and others, without a trace of tension, everything is in order, he decided to listen to Longchen. Roar. Endless dark monsters, full of black gas, like demons imprisoned in hell, are released. They are killing. When they see Longchen and others, their eyes turn blue. The first ceremony of the day. Longchen rushes fastest. Minghong's sword comes out of its sheath. It spins and shoots away with a half-moon-shaped shadow. Puff, puff, puff. The shadow of the sword roars, cuts through the sky, and cuts down with the will of heaven. Those crazy dark monsters are cut into powder. The powerful dark monster, in front of Long Chen's knife, is just like paper. The shadow of the knife is still strong, and it moves forward for tens of thousands of miles before it disappears. After a knife, I don't know how many Diablo monsters I killed, and I crush mountains to the ground. The picture is so shocking that even Su Jianxiong is moved. A good overbearing will, the law of chaos, should bow in front of this will. What shocked Su Jianxiong was not the sharpness of Long Chen's move, but the sword that Long Chen cut, which contained the will to dominate the world. According to reason, this kind of place occupied by dark monsters was completely chaotic, unable to control, and even suppressed people. However, the sword of Long Chen made heaven and earth submit. The dark area formed by the dark monsters could not form an effective block. Therefore, Long Chen killed so many monsters with one sword. Among the strong people present, only Su Jianxiong could see the way, while the other strong people of Wang Yue clan didn't know. Therefore, they thought that Long Chen, with the rule of chaos, crushed the dark field and broke the world with one knife. They were all stunned. The power of this sword was beyond their ability. What's the situation? Well, after Long Chen cuts a knife, suddenly feel the golden lotus seed in the chaotic space, slightly tremble. When Long Chen's mind sank into the chaotic space and looked at the golden lotus seed, he found that the golden lotus seed, which had fallen into a depression after the collapse of the burning door, seemed to have a little more luster at this time. But this ray of luster is very weak, and its breath seems to be stronger, and it doesn't seem to be stronger, which makes Long Chen think he has hallucination. Will killing these Diablo monsters accelerate their recovery? Long Chen's heart leaps wildly. If it is true, it will be developed. Whether it's true or not, just have a try. All of a sudden, Long Chen puts away the sword and holds the sky with one hand. A flame lotus appears in Long Chen's hand. At the same time, the holy and solemn color of chanting scriptures resounds through the heaven and earth. The flame lotus rose to meet the storm, which covered the sky in the blink of an eye. The fierce flame roasted the whole sky. Fire lotus of exterminating the world. With the big hand of Long Chen, the flame lotus shoots out and goes straight to the dark monster group in the distance. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4109, Puff, Puff, Puff. One by one, the dark monster of Tianzuan level was pierced by Guoran's arrow. It can be said that Guoran's arrow was not empty. 1, 2, 10, 20 good guy, more than 100. Guoran's face changed. If so many Tianzuan-level Diablo monsters were killed at the same time, they would not be able to stop. Don't be afraid, introduce a large radiation range. But Xia Chen cried aloud. At this moment, the great array vibrated, and the divine radiance on the great array gathered together to form a spear of yin and yang. Bang! The spears of yin-yang double dragons blasted out and went straight to a dark monster of Tianzuan class. With a bang, a huge pit was blasted out of the earth tens of thousands of miles around, and the small monsters around were smashed. That day, the monster of Tianzuan class was burnt black, but did not die. Poof! But although the monster was not dead, he was also seriously injured. Guoran took the opportunity to kill him with an arrow, which was a common arrow. Yin-yang dominates the sky array. It's mainly defensive, but not offensive. That's it. Seeing that one blow failed to kill the respected monster that day, Xia Chen sighed helplessly. In fact, yin-yang dominating the sky array can be used as both offensive and defensive array, but in this way, the consumption is too terrible, and Xia Chen's family is not enough, so he can only give up his attack power to strengthen his defense. Bang! Just at this time, a monster of Tianzuan level has rushed to the array, clawing like a hook and slapping on the array. Originally, the strong men of the Moon-Watching clan were worried that they would be punctured by a claw. But what everyone didn't expect was that no big or small voice rang out. That day, the respected monster was shocked to fly upside down. The arm was already out of shape, and it was obviously broken. The test is completed. As long as there are not more than 500 Tianzuan-level monsters attacking at the same time, the array will hold. Boss, don't worry and kill boldly, cried Xiaqin. In fact, Xiaqin is also the first time to gather this legendary level of array. All defense capabilities need to be proved through practice. Now that day, the respected monster, with all his strength, couldn't shake the big array. Xiaqin was relieved. After listening to Xiaqin's words, the dragon dust immediately let go of his hands and feet completely. With a break of drinking, the god ring behind him appeared, covered with golden scales. The loud sound of the dragon chant resounded through the heaven and earth, and the sacred dragon power radiated from 9 days and 10 places. At that moment, the strong people of the moon-watching clan felt a shudder in their souls. The sacred power of Longchen was so powerful that even they were affected. Cloud Dragon offering claws, the dragon dust stops drinking, which is like thundering in the sky and shaking forever. A dragon claw covering the sky protrudes from the divine ring behind and shoots down. There, dozens of dark monsters of Tianzuan level come to kill Longchen. One claw of Longchen falls, the void collapses and 10,000 paths are torn. Boom, there is no worry about the future. The dragon dust has no reservation. The firepower is fully opened, and the dragon claws fall, the earth collapses, and endless monsters turn into powder. The dragon claw disappeared, leaving a huge dragon claw mark on the earth. In that mark, dozens of celestial monsters lay there quietly, their bodies flattened and their breath disappeared. The body is not shattered, but the soul has disappeared. They are not dead under my power, but under the impact of the dragon spirit. Longchen big hand move, those corpses are he income chaos space. Longchen carefully examined, found clues. Is the holy dragon power equally fatal to them? Longchen suddenly thought of a key. Boss, be careful. Just at this moment, arrows flew by Longchen. It turned out that when Longchen was stunned, 3 Tianzuan monsters came over from the dead corner of Longchen. Puff puff, 3 Tianzuan monsters were killed by Guoran, but Guoran also lost 3 golden arrows. Just have a try. The dragon roars 9 days. Longchen suddenly opens his arms and roars up to the sky. The loud sound of the dragon chants resounds through the heaven and earth. A sound wave with Longchen as the core spreads in all directions. Then people see a very shocking scene. Endless monsters, affected by the sound wave, instantly fell to the ground motionless. Even Tianzuan monsters were shaken by the roar of Longchen, as if they were drunk. They kept falling, getting up, and then falling. After a roar as far as the eyes can see, the corpses are everywhere, and there is no end to it. The long roar of dragon dust directly killed hundreds of millions of Diablo monsters. How can it be? The sacred authority on him is a match for the patriarch's blessing of the ancestral spirit totem. An old man of Wangyue nationality, with a face full of disbelief. He is a human race, not a dragon race. Even if he is a dragon race, even if he is a real dragon race, he may not have such a powerful holy dragon power. An old man of Wangyue clan was shocked. Looking at the corpses all over the ground, everyone was shocked. Even the dragon blood soldiers didn't expect that such a terrible dark monster would be killed by the boss. Cough. Dragon dust suddenly a fierce cough, Nima, too excited, shout broken sound. All of a sudden, Longchen's hands were sealed, and endless flames rose and covered the whole earth. Those struggling demons of Tianzuan class were pierced by the arrows of fire and killed instantly. Although they have endured long Shao for 9 days, their souls are already confused and in chaos. They don't know how to avoid danger at all. They are directly hit to the point and easily killed. The endless flame disappears, and all the corpses on the earth are put into chaotic space. Because there are too many corpses, there is a corpse mountain piled up on millions of miles of black soil. Even with the terrifying phagocytic ability of black soil, it can't swallow so many corpses all at once. Good guy, I've consumed most of the dragon's strength all of a sudden. I've been shouting too much just now. Longchen checked his body, and he was startled. All of a sudden, Longchen's heart is full of warning signs, and the terrible threat of death envelopes him in a flash. With an almost instinctive roar, Longchen concentrates all the remaining power of the dragon, throws his foot behind him, and directly uses the dragon's magic power to swing his tail. Boom! The huge dragon's tail broke the sky and pulled out on the void. The void exploded and broke like a cobweb. From the fragmented void, we saw a dark monster made of gold. Before the Tianzuan level monster, only the eyebrow with gold rune, and its whole body is gold rune. Moreover, it is not 4 arms but 6 arms. Poof! Long Chen's blood gushed wildly, and people flew backward. Long Chen's foot just now seemed to have kicked on the stars, and his whole body was cracked. Dark Lord, when you see the 6-armed monster full of golden runes, the strong of the Moon Watchers are shocked. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 41:10. The monster appeared so suddenly and quietly that everyone didn't respond. Long Chen was very sensitive to danger because he had been in the battlefield for a long time. He didn't feel the monster, but he felt the danger, so he tried his best to do it at the first time. But even so, the dragon dust is still in a mess, chi and blood surge, feeling that the whole person is going to fall apart. The most terrible thing is that after a blow, the gold monster moves and pours directly at Longchen. As soon as it moves, it comes to Longchen. This is not a matter of speed, but a rule of breaking the air. Distance seems to be invalid in front of it. Boom! Long Chen was shocked, and he was already unable to resist. At this moment, a silver spear came, and at the critical moment, it blocked the golden monster's attack. At this moment, a branch, like a strange python, entangles Longchen and drags Longchen back into the array. Longchen, are you okay? Yu Qingxian pulls Longchen in a hurry and looks concerned. I'm fine. What's that monster like? How did it appear quietly? At this time, the dragon dust surprised out of a cold sweat. He never thought, there is a monster, can avoid his perception, rushed to his side. It's the Dark Lord. It's the strongest monster we've ever met in the Dark World. In general, the Heaven Strong is just like the mole ant in front of him. A strong man of Wangyue clan said in a deep voice. Boom boom. At this time, Su Jianxiong in the distance had already given up his hand with the Dark Lord. Su Jiangxiong's silver spear hit the Dark Lord, and the sparks splashed, just like stabbing a magic weapon. As soon as Su Jianxiong made a move, his chi and blood soared to the sky, and the vision behind him roared and roared. His moves were very simple, open and close, violent and hard. With each move, the void is broken like a mirror, endless fragments of time and space are flying, and the whole world is shaking, as if it can't bear the power of 2 people, but wants to burst. The patriarch is so strong. Guo Ran and others were shocked. Su Jiangxiong's every move is simple and clear. He turns the complex into the simple, but it's so wonderful that he has reached the realm of returning to nature. What's more shocking to everyone is that the power of Su Jiangxiong's every blow seems to be mediocre, but when he meets the Dark Lord, it will explode instantly. There is no waste of his power, and there is no leakage. This is the performance that his power is controlled to the extreme. Is the patriarch a strong man in immortality? Or is it half immortal? Summer morning is testing away. No, the patriarch is still in the realm of heaven and immortality. How dare you think in vain? The strong man of the Wangyue clan side. Is the patriarch also a god? But the crowd was taken aback. The realm of heaven is divided into congenital and postnatal. We are all postnatal, and the patriarch is congenital heaven. The old man said, and the distinction? The key to innate and postnatal is the time to break through the heaven. If it is when chi and blood are rising, the heaven's way and chi will be magnificent. If the heaven and earth are promoted and blessed, they can take charge of the heaven and earth, the sun and the moon, gather the chi of the stars and the sea, and swallow the heaven. But after the rising period, when it comes to the platform period, by the accumulation of time, you will not get the blessing of chi. To put it bluntly, we have been abandoned by the way of heaven, and we are not willing to go against the sky and break through. The way of heaven will not give us any help. If we want to keep the realm, we need to burn our own shoyuan. What's more, the day after tomorrow, we Tianzuan will consume a certain amount of shoyuan in every battle. The more we fight, the closer we are to death. The elder of the Wang Yue clan sighed. I see. There is also the theory of congenital and acquired. Guoran and others suddenly realized. If we Terrans ascend to heaven before the age of 100, is it natural heaven? Asked Xiaqin. The old man shook his head and said, It's hard to say. Your people's life is short and your qi and blood are weak. But you are the spirit of heaven and earth. You are favored by heaven. You are the same people, but there is a big gap. Some people have entered the platform period by the age of 30, while others are thousands of years old and still in the process of ascension. Our moon watchers are relatively stable. If we don't set foot in heaven before 300 years old, we will lose the hope of ascending heaven. Our patriarch, Tianzong prodigy, ascended to Tianzuan at the age of 57, ranking 6th in history. Originally, he had great hope to ascend to immortality, but our moon watchers were trapped here. The old man said, Can't go on, it seems that there are countless bitterness in his heart. Boom, there was a big bang, the earth cracked, and in the dust, endless stones shot out from the ground and hit the array, blooming like fireworks. After the stone burst, there were countless crystal stones scattered inside, which contained strange fluctuations. As soon as they appeared, it was like countless meteors flying across the night sky, blooming with brilliant brilliance. Jie Wang Jing, when you see the crystal stones, Xia Chen and Guoran's eyes are going to protrude. The crystal stone is Wang Jing, who is more advanced than immortal Wang Jing. Oh my God, there's Xian Jing underground. Guoran exclaimed. Boom boom. The earth is constantly broken, endless ores fly out, burst open in the void, and the sky is filled with dreamlike divine light. Boom, there was another explosion. Su Jianxiong and the Dark Lord retreated at the same time. Long Chen saw that Su Jianxiong's breath fluctuated violently, and it was obvious that he had reached a certain extreme. And the Dark Lord, with his golden radiance burning all over, should also be fighting with all his strength. Just a moment ago, the two of them fought with all their strength to make a fair share. They stepped back and supported each other. What Long Chen and others didn't expect was that the Dark Lord had a look of fear in his eyes. Patriarch, let's help you to summon the totem of ancestral spirit and kill the Dark Lord. At this time, all the old men of the Wang Yue clan rushed out, stood behind Su Jianxiong and arranged the formation. No, to their surprise, several people cried out in unison. Su Jianxiong, Long Chen, Xia Chen and Guoran were the people who called, Don't want to. The strong people of the Wang Yue clan were shocked. Seeing the crowd looking at themselves, Xia Chen and Guoran said in a hurry, Don't fight here. The crystal is exploding. You're not fighting. You're fighting money. What's wrong with the money? Originally Su Jianxiong and the Dark Lord, a great battle, the tremendous power, the countless spinel exploded, the essence of the spit inside the drain, all become waste, summer morning and Guoran heartache bad. It's all the best King Jing of the world. It's the treasure for the king of the world to practice. It's all real money. It's the hard currency of the world of practice. Looking at the pieces of crystal all over the ground, they will cry. Uncle Xiong, keep this Dark Lord to practice. Such an enemy is very rare. Long Chen rode. Ha ha ha. Hearing Long Chen's words, the old people of Wang Yue clan were scared to death, but Su Jianxiong laughed. Good boy, come with me. Roar. At this moment, the Dark Lord seemed to understand their meaning, as if he had been greatly humiliated, roared and killed him. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 41:11. Boom, with a bang, the Dark Lord was shaken away by Su Jianxiong's bone spear, and Su Jianxiong's qi and blood also surged and retreated. Roar! The Dark Lord rolled and roared continuously, but to everyone's surprise, the Dark Lord disappeared after a roar. This. The old people of the Moon Watchers all have strange looks on their faces. Lord, will the Dark Lord escape? Someone asked. Su Jianxiong nodded and said, "The Dark Lord does not have wisdom and is not afraid of death, but when his dark power is consumed too much, he will return to his old nest to have a rest. When his dark power is restored, he will kill him back." Cough. Patriarch. Su Jianxiong coughed up blood, which scared them out of their wits. If the Patriarch had an accident, the Wangyue clan would be finished. It's no surprise. It's a good thing. I deliberately didn't use any magic power to let the Dark Lord hurt me. In this way, the bottleneck that I have been stuck for many years will be loosened, and only under the threat of death can I activate my strong desire. So, this Dark Lord can't be killed. He is my hope to break the shackles. Longchen, you think so too? Su Jianxiong looks at Longchen with a touch of appreciation in his eyes. Longchen nodded and said, "Yes, it's a pity to kill such a powerful opponent directly. Only a strong opponent can force out my potential. In order to survive, I have to keep growing. Anyway, you and Uncle Huai are here. I think I can use it to make my pace bigger, so that I can cope with the monsters of all ethnic groups in the Holy King Assembly." Haha, good, have backbone, men should be like this. Su Jianxiong laughs. Seeing the current dragon dust, he seems to see himself in his youth. At that time, he was not afraid of anything. He did whatever he wanted and was unscrupulous. But later, as a clan leader, he began to calm down and work hard. In fact, Su Jianxiong's bottleneck has a lot to do with his position. Now that he has found this Dark Lord, he is not willing to kill it. Boom! At this time, the endless dark monsters hit again, and the dragon blood soldiers immediately went out to fight. Xia Chen and Guoran controlled the big array and the golden crossbow one by one, and were responsible for killing those Tianzuan monsters. In this way, the dragon blood soldiers can fight bravely and safely. The dragon blood soldiers are like killing machines that never know fatigue. They come and go on the battlefield and are invincible. Before long, the corpses on the battlefield have piled up like a mountain. Dragon dust immediately began to clean up the battlefield and put the corpses on the battlefield into chaotic space. In today's chaotic space, the air of life is almost as thick as water, and precious medicines are growing crazily. The trees of Taiyin and Fusang are just like the dry riverbed, and finally usher in the rainy season. They are greedily sucking the power of life. The originally withered branches and leaves are stretching freely, and their bodies are growing at the speed visible to the naked eye. What excites Longchen most is that the golden lotus seed has not only completely recovered, but also has more and more light. At the same time, Longchen sees golden lines on the lotus seed. Although the origin of the golden lotus seed is not clear, Longchen's intuition tells him that the origin of the golden lotus seed is absolutely amazing. Now Longchen doesn't know why killing these dark monsters will change the golden lotus seed, but it doesn't matter. There are so many things in the world that he doesn't want to analyze. The soldiers of my moon watchers, if they are 1/10 as strong, who dares to look down on us? Looking at the dragon blood soldiers fighting like wolves, even the Tianzuan-level strongmen felt their hearts tremble and could not help sighing. Although the dragon blood soldiers were only in the later stage of the Immortal King, their lethality was so amazing that they went straight to the enemy's vital point. Even they saw 2 dragon blood soldiers, together, 3 moves to kill a Tianzuan-level Diablo monster. The cooperation between the two was perfect. That day, the respected dark monster was beaten by the 2 people from the beginning to the end. He had no chance to exert his strength, so he was beheaded. Longchen, can you dare to ask how you train these men? An old man of Wangyue clan finally couldn't help saying. Longchen shook his head and said, "They are not my men. They are my brothers. They are my partners who can entrust my life to them. We can go to today, who is not trained, are forced out, we have been forced to death by God, step back, will be doomed. What can we do but work hard? We are not willing to be manipulated by fate, our destiny can only be controlled in our own hands. We don't have abundant resources and strong background. We have only one card in our hand, which is our life. Everything we have now, it can be said, is to fight with our lives. You envy us, and we do not envy you? If there is a choice, who is willing to work so hard? Who doesn't want to enjoy life quietly?" Long Chen looks at the fierce battle of the dragon blood soldiers with a touch of helplessness in his eyes. This is a helpless world. Since he has chosen to declare war with fate, he will carry it to the end until one day he really controls the fate and is no longer manipulated by anyone. The powerful members of the Wangyue clan are moved by it, and they are also reflecting on it. The Wangyue clan has been working hard for its rise and revival, but have they really worked hard? Or is that just a slogan for playing? More than 400 dragon blood soldiers fight against endless dark monsters, and the fighting power shown by everyone is frightening even their old friends. The ability of dragon blood soldiers is not innate, but acquired. Behind their bravery and invincibility, no one knows how much they have paid. Compared with them, the disciples of the Moon Watchers are like children growing up in a honeypot. How can they really grow up if they have not experienced wind and frost? Patriarch. An old man looks at Su Jianxiong. Su Jianxiong knows that this is the strength of the red-eyed dragon blood soldiers, and plans to let the young disciples of the clan also participate in the experience of blood and fire. In the past, the Moon Watchers have been developing the number of races to reduce casualties as much as possible, but the number has increased, but the quality is declining. This is not to say that the Moon Watchers are not as good as before, but because they are afraid of sacrifice, they have too little experience to be really strong. As a result, the comfortable life of the disciples of the Moon Watchers is over, and they are sent to other battlefields to start a real fight. The dragon blood soldiers fought for 3 hours in a row. After that, their arms were numb and they couldn't move anymore. Xia Chen's big array has amazing defense. As long as it's not Tianzuan level monster, it can't shake the big array. Even if the heaven level monster comes, it will be killed by Xia Chen and Guoran. After the dragon blood soldiers recover, they will continue to fight. Long Chen didn't go on fighting. He was keeping up his energy. Besides cleaning the battlefield from time to time, he kept staring at the depth of the battlefield. All of a sudden, Long Chen stands up, his Kuanping wings spread behind him, and he rushes out like a streamer. Uncle Xiong and Uncle Huai help me to hold the battle. Remember to save my life at the critical moment. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 41:12. The boss is powerful and domineering, there is no one in the world. See Long Chen rushed out, Guoran immediately excited to shout, cheer for Long Chen. Dang dang bang, before Guoran finished cheering, he saw the golden figure, like a meteor across the earth, plowing the earth into a big ditch. Suddenly, Uncle Huai reaches out his hand and grabs Minghong Dao, which is flying backwards. At this time, Long Chen flies back in confusion. Long Chen, are you okay? Yu Qingxian is shocked to see that Long Chen is covered with blood and has many blood holes on his body. Yu Qingchuan's face turns white with fright. Guoran is waving his hand, but the action is frozen. He thinks that the boss is fully open. How can he hold on for a little time? But it's over before he starts. Boom boom. As Long Chen has just been shaken back, Su Jianxiong has gone out with a bone spear. He has a fierce fight with the Dark Lord, blocking the way of the Dark Lord. Master, why do you have to fight with him? It's extremely fast, and it has 6 arms. You use your own short to attack the enemy. Huai Shu was also frightened. Just now Long Chen was almost killed. Everything came so fast that he couldn't react. If it hadn't been for Long Chen, he was already dead. Uncle Huai was so scared that he was sweating. Long Chen waved his hand in a hurry, indicating that he could not speak now. He made a seal with his hands, healing with the power of life in the chaotic space. After several breaths, Long Chen breathed a sigh of relief, but he said, I know, but I can't help it. Originally, Long Chen intended to fight against the Dark Lord with the unique skills of the Dragon Clan, but he was stopped by the Strong Dragon Clan. The Strong Dragon Clan asked Long Chen to fight with him. At that time, Long Chen was shocked to hear this sentence. If he didn't absolutely trust the Strong Dragon, he might suspect that the Strong Dragon wanted to kill people with a knife. The Dark Lord is already very fast, and his hand is like electricity. He is the Lord here. He has the ability to control the laws here. His speed can't be regarded as speed. He has already broken the shackles of space and can't be prevented at all. How can Longchen fight its 6 claws with his hands? But the strong dragon said so. He had no choice but to stick to his head. As a result, he was allowed to fight with all his strength. He still couldn't fight the other side after cutting 36 swords. He took the opportunity to escape back. It can be said that life and death were in an instant. Longchen was able to live by instinct. In other people's eyes, the 36 swords are just blinking. Except for Su Jianxiong and Huaishu, no one knows what happened. In the blood hole of Longchen's body, there is black gas coming out, which looks very frightening. This is the power of the law. It took Longchen less than half an hour to force the black gas out, and the wound really healed. At this time, Su Jianxiong came back, and there were many wounds on his body. The blood stained his white robe, but his breath was still strong, and the Dark Lord ran away again. Obviously, even without the ancestral totem, Su Jianxiong was still better than the Dark Lord. Longchen, it's too dangerous for you. If you are careless, you will lose your life. We have no chance to rescue you. When Su Jianxiong came back, he looked at Longchen with a serious face. At first, like Uncle Huai, he thought that Longchen would only fight with the Dark Lord, mainly to fight against the Dark Lord's pressure and temper his will. Whoever thought that Longchen would go to fight with the Dark Lord? Even a strong man of his level is not sure to save Longchen in the attack of the Dark Lord like a storm. It's too dangerous. It's okay, as long as you and Uncle Huai can guarantee that it won't chase me. I have my own life card. Longchen can only do this. Longchen knows that the dragon strongman wants him to fully stimulate the reaction speed of the dragon's power under the threat of death, so that the explosion of the dragon's power can form an instinct, rather than being called passively by Longchen. Active and passive, there is a big difference between the two, which is also related to whether the dragon dust can completely control the power of the dragon. In the words of the strong dragon people, only when you are infinitely close to death can you understand the true meaning of practice. Seeing that Longchen is so persistent, Su Jianxiong has no choice but to heal and continue to wait for the arrival of the Dark Lord. Except for Su Jianxiong and Su Changchuan, most of the strong members of the Wangyue clan have left. They have gone back to practice and supervise the disciples of the Wangyue clan on the battlefield. The casualties are inevitable, but they should try their best to reduce them. Su Changchuan, on the other hand, follows the soldiers of the Dragon Blood Legion to deal with the dark monsters. Su Changchuan is extremely powerful, especially when he sees the silver spots in his vision and the golden radiance on the rhinoceros horn, which are different from all the strong ones of the Moon Watchers. Longchen knows that this family has either changed or gone back to its ancestors. It seems that Su Changchuan was stimulated by the Dragon Blood soldiers. He was very hard at the beginning to select the Tianzuan-level Diablo. This guy began to work hard. After killing several Tianzuan-level Diablo in succession, his courage gradually increased, and his fear receded, and he became more and more powerful. After being praised by Su Jianxiong, his confidence doubled. This guy even began to apply to Su Jianxiong to test the Dark Lord. As a result, Su Jianxiong was gloomy and scolded him. Su Changchuan didn't dare to say anything, so he could only spread his anger on those monsters. As time went by, the Dark Lord's recovery speed was amazing. Almost every 3 or 4 hours he would come back. Longchen always bears the brunt of it. The first time he fights it, although he is abused by it every time, he can only hold on to half a breath at the beginning. Later, when he can hold on to 2 breaths, Longchen obviously feels that his speed is improving. The dragon strongman told him that the powerful force will affect the speed of the shot. No matter how powerful the force is, it is meaningless that it can't reach the opponent. Because Longchen is not a dragon, we need to find another way to improve the speed and make up for the defects in this aspect. Otherwise we will suffer a great loss if we meet the real experts. Fast, fast, a little bit faster, we can keep up with its speed. When Dragon Dust fights with the Dark Lord, the strong dragon people keep shouting and cheering for Dragon Dust. What Longchen didn't know was that when he used all his strength to fight against the Dark Lord, the dragon blood in Longchen's body began to boil. At that time, a kind of rune that never appeared was slowly breeding. Long Chen didn't know about this change, but the strong dragon could see it clearly. He knew how important this rune was to Long Chen. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, a month later, Long Chen's speed is faster and faster, and he has been able to stick to half a stick of incense under the attack of the Dark Lord. This speed of progress surprised Su Jianxiong. Boom, Long Chen is fighting with the Dark Lord. Suddenly, there is a loud explosion in his body, and his breath suddenly rises. Advanced. Everyone was startled that Long Chen was advanced in the fierce battle. Suddenly the void vibrates. Su Jianxiong and Uncle Huai, who are the Dharma protectors of Long Chen, change their faces greatly, and they fight at the same time. Boom! After the explosion, another Dark Lord appeared in the broken void. How can it be? How can there be 2 lords in one world? It is expected that the strong one of Moon Clan exclaimed, but it really appeared. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 41:13 Another Dark Lord appeared, which suddenly overturned the understanding of the powerful people of the Wangyue clan, which was unprecedented in history. Bang! Su Jianxiong attacks the newly emerged Dark Lord for the first time, while Uncle Huai hastens to support Long Chen. The appearance of the Dark Lord disrupts the rhythm of the battlefield. Boom boom. Endless branches agitate and form a wooden wall in front of Long Chen, but it is torn by the Dark Lord. However, Long Chen gets a chance to breathe. Uncle Huai, buy us some time. Brothers, cooperate and kill the Dark Lord. Changchuan, you are the first one. Long Chen yells. Hearing Long Chen's greeting, Su Changchuan, who had long wanted to explore the strength of the Dark Lord, held his strength. Seeing Long Chen's order, he was afraid that he would be stopped by the patriarch. He stepped on the void and held the bone spear. The vision behind him suddenly became illusory. His whole strength was concentrated on the bone spear, like a meteor, stabbing at the Dark Lord. In the exclamation of the Moon Watchers, Su Changchuan's spear pierces the void. The Dark Lord is entangled by countless branches, and his 6 arms tear the sky, just as the palace opens. Uncle Huai creates an excellent mobile meeting for Su Changchuan. Death, Su Changchuan was both surprised and elated. He had never cooperated with others in battle. At this time, he didn't need to deal with the change by himself. He just needed to do his best. This time, without any reservation, he stabbed his spear at the Dark Lord's chest. Poof! There was a loud explosion and the ink like blood shot. To everyone's surprise, Su Changchuan's bone spear penetrated the defense of the Dark Lord. You know, the Dark Lord's whole body is covered with golden runes, and his body is as hard as iron. Even Su Jianxiong has never broken his defense, but Su Changchuan has broken it. Wangyue Shenhui, Changchuan's sacred power has surpassed that of the patriarch? The strong men of the Moon Watchers were shocked, and their eyes were full of ecstasy. Roar! The Dark Lord was in pain and roared. Fast back, Long Chen yells, while Su Changchuan is still immersed in the joy of breaking the defense of the Dark Lord, and his reaction is a little slow. Bang! The Dark Lord's body trembled, Su Changchuan's bone spear burst, Su Changchuan's blood gushed, and the man flew out. Dragon blood cross chop, Guaran roared, his armor was added, and the golden saber was crossed. All the Dragon Blood fighters summoned the Dragon Blood battle body, and everyone put their big hands on the former person, pouring all the strength into Guaran's body. Bang! The huge cross broke away from the golden sword and cut off the law of heaven and earth, which combined all the strength of the Dragon Blood warrior and cut off the Dark Lord solidly. There was a big bang, and the branches around the Dark Lord burst into pieces. The huge cross was printed on the Dark Lord's body. There were countless cracks on the Dark Lord's solid body. It spat ink like blood and then fell back. Hoo-hoo! Behind him, Long Chen, holding Minghong's sword, cut 3 swords in succession in the void, each of which added the power of the previous one. When the 4th one cut out, he just met the Dark Lord who was flying upside down, and the timing was just right. The 4th move of opening the sky, the dragon dust is cut down with a knife, with endless gas of killing. Boom! Long Chen's long knife cuts heavily on the back of the Dark Lord, disillusionment of the void, endless avenue runes flying, and a huge pit burst out of the earth. When the dust all over the sky flew by, in the huge pit, the Dark Lord's whole body cracked, but to the horror of Long Chen and others, he was still alive, his body was wriggling, and he had to struggle to stand up. Poof! The dragon dust roaring sword is heavily located in the center of the Dark Lord's brow, where there is a golden rune, which is broken by the dragon dust. When the golden rune broke, the Dark Lord's body suddenly trembled, and then the golden rune on his body quickly faded down, and finally died. Done? Guoran laughed, and the dragon blood soldiers cheered. They worked together to kill the Lord level strong, which is a very proud thing. Long Chun grabs the body of the Dark Lord and returns to the battle. He looks at Su Changchuan's injury and finds that his breath has become weak. Even his breath of life has become very weak. He can't help but be startled. Don't be afraid. His own magic weapon is his rhinoceros horn. After the rhinoceros horn burst, his spirit was also shocked violently. However, the Moon Watchers have magical self-healing ability. After the rhinoceros horn is broken, it will grow again, and the newly grown rhinoceros horn will be more powerful. Changchuan is a rhinoceros horn shattered by the Dark Lord. The dark power rushes into his body. Stimulated by the dark power, it will stimulate the growth of his moon-gazing radiance. This is a good thing. It's a great good thing. An old man of Wangyue clan was excited. They have repeatedly checked Su Changchuan's body, and now his body is full of dark power to kill Su Changchuan's star and moon. But Su Changchuan's star and moon are extremely tenacious. Under the erosion of the dark power, he keeps fighting back and growing. After waking up, Su Changchuan will become stronger. Ooh! At this time, Su Jianxiong also came, and the Dark Lord who was fighting with him had already run away. It was estimated that he was going back to restore the dark power. Su Jianxiong tried his best to kill the Dark Lord with the fastest speed. However, when he saw that Long Chen and others had taken control of the whole situation, he didn't hurt the killer, but let the Dark Lord go. Su Jianxiong personally inspected Su Changchuan's body, and his face showed a happy smile. God bless my Moon Watchers. It seems that my Moon Watchers are on the way to prosperity. They will send Changchuan to the ancestral totem, and the ancestral spirit will protect him. Yes, the elders of Wangyue clan rushed to see Su Changchuan off. Their faces were full of excitement. At the same time, their eyes to Longchen and others changed. Now they are full of awe and gratitude to Longchen and others. After the arrival of Longchen, the whole family of Moon Watchers has changed. They see the hope for the rise of the family of Moon Watchers. Longchen and others are the lucky stars of the family of Moon Watchers. Dang dang. Guoran took out a hammer and knocked on the body of the Dark Lord. Every time he knocked on it, sparks were splashing around and his body could make a sound like steel. It was really puzzling. How does it grow? It's so hard and flexible that my armor can't do that. Guoran tried for a long time before he pulled a rune from the Dark Lord. We know little about Diablo monsters, even the Moon Watchers. They come from an unknown world, and we know nothing about that world. Su Jianxiong said, "It doesn't matter whether we know it or not. The Holy King's assembly is about to open. We have to speed up our practice. Use the Diablo monsters to speed up the improvement of the realm. It's better to raise your cultivation to the peak of the Immortal King before the Holy King meeting." Longchen rode. "Boss, we don't care, but you, is that all right?" Guoran and others are worried. After all, the dragon dust has just broken through the Fairy King's double heaven. Longchen grabs several immortal elixirs in succession, just like eating beans, and puts them in his mouth, saying vaguely, "That's nothing. Let's see what speed is." With that, Longchen rushes into the battlefield again. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 41:14. Boom! With a bang, the breath of dragon dust surged, like a river breaking its dike, breaking through the shackles in an instant. This This time, even Guo and others were stunned. Long Chen just broke through the double sky. How long did it take to break through the triple sky? Bang! Long Chen killed a Tianzuan monster with one knife. After 3 days of advancement, Long Chen felt his blood gushing and his whole body was full of strength. It was like a person's nostrils were blocked. Now he can breathe freely. At this time, Long Chen admired the dragon strong. Now he finally understood the true meaning of this sentence. The state of Long Chen has not been broken through for a long time, which makes the body full of desire for breakthrough. It hardly needs Long Chen to do anything. After the breakthrough, the body instinctively consolidates the state, and the qi, blood, muscles and spirits are rapidly improving themselves. Now they are like a group of construction craftsmen. They have stopped work for a long time because there are no construction materials. If they don't start work, they will starve to death. Now that the materials come, they start to work hard. Breaking through 2 realms in a row, Long Chen's breath was still solid, without any sign of vanity. Long Chen was fighting fiercely and pouring pills into his mouth. Others take pills one by one, while Long Chen pours them one by one. They have to eat hundreds or even thousands of pills at a time. Even Su Jianxiong is shocked, for fear that Long Chen will explode himself. Roar! Just at this time, the Dark Lord who was beaten away by Su Jianxiong killed him again. Seeing that he killed him, Long Chen roared up to the sky and rushed past with Ming Hong's sword. Dang dang! The sparks are flying and the lights are all over the sky. People can only see the endless shadow of the sword, but they can't see the shadow of the dragon dust and the Dark Lord. With such a close attack, the speed is so fast that their eyes can't catch up with their actions. Su Jianxiong stood on the edge of the battlefield, ready to help each other at any time. With such a high intensity and speed of fierce fighting, even he didn't dare to be distracted, and he was in high tension. As a matter of fact, Su Jianxiong is more tired than he was when he was fighting against the Dark Lord. The main reason is that he is afraid of losing his life due to an oversight. However, he was tired, but the progress speed of Long Chen shocked him. Long Chen's potential was like a bottomless pit. As long as he worked hard, he would have endless potential to tap. Boom! The dragon dust braved the storm attack of the Dark Lord. It took a long time for the dragon dust to smell. Suddenly, the breath of the dragon dust surged into the 4 heavens of the Fairy King. The dragon dust that enters the immortal king's quadruple heaven has a stronger breath, and the power of blood, muscle and spirit is once again broadened to a new height. Dang dang! This time, Long Chen was sweating. After half an hour, he finally couldn't support himself and retreated. When Long Chen retreated, it didn't need Su Jianxiong's help. The Dark Lord also retreated. It was obvious that the fierce battle with Long Chen consumed a lot. When it felt weak, it would go back to replenish its strength. The boss is powerful and domineering. Guo and others look at their clothes wet with sweat. They are like dragon dust fished out of the water. They look excited. Long Chen took a long breath and cried out to be happy. Such a hearty fight made him feel more comfortable than ever. But after fighting so close for half an hour, Long Chen didn't remember how many knives he had cut or how many times he had prevented. He was so tired that he nearly collapsed. Boss, you already have the strength to challenge the Lord alone. Xia Chen couldn't help being excited. Long Chen gave him a white look and said, I didn't flatter like that. The reason why I can survive its attack for such a long time is that it has no chance to exert its magic power in close combat. If I fight like Uncle Xiong, I can't support 3 moves, and I will exhaust all my strength. The reason why we were able to kill the Dark Lord before was that he fought fiercely with Uncle Xiong for many times and accumulated hidden wounds in his body. Otherwise, we would have to pay a certain price if we wanted to kill him with our strength. Long Chen knows that he has been promoted rapidly, but he is not arrogant. He thinks he can pick the Dark Lord alone. He has a close fight with the Dark Lord, fighting for speed and reaction, which is Long Chen's strong point. But if he opens his distance and releases his own big moves, Long Chen has no chance at all. The Dark Lord's strength is more terrible than they think. Long Chen doesn't want them to belittle the enemy. If something goes wrong, it's fatal. You can't make a joke. Now the strength of the Dragon Blood soldiers is soaring, and the dragon dust needs to attack their pride from time to time. In the following days, Long Chen entered the mode of crazy promotion, and pills kept filling his mouth. Every day, Long Chen was fighting with the Dark Lord for speed. Dragon dust moves faster and faster, and a new rune gradually condenses in the dragon blood. The dragon strongman tells Long Chen that this is a special rune of the dragon clan. Originally, this kind of rune could not appear in the human race, but Long Chen kept breaking through the speed base in the state of the Dragon King fighting, thus awakening the instinct of this rune. However, the speed of Long Chen's hand is fast, but the consumption of Long She's power will also speed up, making Long Chen's fighting power unsustainable. If you can hold on for half an hour at most each time, the power of the dragon will be at the bottom. However, with the appearance of the rune, the speed of the dragon keeps increasing, and it can keep up with the speed of the Dark Lord. 3 days later, Long Chen entered the 5th heaven, 7 days later, the 6th heaven, and 10 days later, the 7th heaven. Another month has passed, and the cultivation of Long Chen has just mentioned Jichangshan. The strong people of the Moon Watchers are all stupid. They have never seen such abnormal cultivation speed. The most important thing is that the breath of Long Chen is rising so fast that there is no sign of vanity, which shows that his foundation is very solid, which subverts their cognition. Dragon dust is as powerful as a monster. Now, under the protection of Su Jianxiong, he has been able to fight with the Dark Lord in the front and break out with his moves in close quarters. He has barely been able to support for a period of time. Although it is not the opponent of the Dark Lord, Long Chen will not be completely crushed by the Dark Lord. The improvement of the realm has brought a strong foundation to Long Chen. Dragon Blood soldiers, their accomplishments have also soared during this period, and they have reached the peak of Fairyland, but Su Jianxiong has changed the most among all. It is obvious that Su Jianxiong's breath is constantly changing. He begins to have a sense of chaos around him. His vision is also different from before. It is obvious that he is the one who benefits most from the fierce battle with the Dark Lord. On this day, Long Chen and the Dark Lord were in a fierce battle. Suddenly, the breath of the Dark Lord rose rapidly, and the golden runes on his body were burning. What's the trick? Long Chen is surprised. He has been fighting fiercely for so long. Has he never seen him use this move? No, go back. It's going to explode. Su Jianxiong is shocked and shouts that Long Chen and others will step back. He rushes with his spear, and Uncle Huai opens his defense. Boom! Then there was a big bang, the Dark Lord burst into pieces, endless waves swept the sky, and the whole world was blown apart. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 41:15 Roar. Even Uncle Huai and Su Jianxiong were shocked by the terrible force. Zayakin's big array roared and burst, with numerous cracks appearing. Zayakin's face turned white. How could this terrible attack come so suddenly? Before he was ready, the big array almost burst. When the sky is scattered and the heaven and earth are clear again, you can see endless cracks in the sky and on the earth, and the whole world is almost broken. It's dangerous that the Dark Lord detonated the dark law of the world and tried to die with us. Fortunately, we have already consumed most of the dark power here, otherwise the consequences would be unimaginable. But it's strange. How can the Dark Lord have wisdom? Su Jianxiong, with a dignified face, looks at the broken world and falls into meditation. What he doesn't understand is even more incomprehensible to others. However, the Dark Lord blew himself up and drew the dark power of the whole world. Even the life of the dark monster was ignited by it. Now look at the whole world, all are corpses, no longer a dark monster. Good guy, Rich. Guoran and Xiachen look at the torn earth and see countless veins from those cracks. Their eyes are red. There are countless treasures hidden underground. The most important thing is that what they see now is only the tip of the iceberg. In the depth of this world, they don't know how many treasures are hidden. They'll go and have a look. The Kunping wings are spread behind the dragon dust, and people like a streamer fly to the depth of the world. It took dragon dust more than an hour to reach the end of the world. This world is too big. Long Chen is a little excited. From today on, the master of this world is him, and he finally has his own place. When he came to the end of the world, he saw another huge space door, which was entangled by black gas, like a black flame burning, and the power of the dark was constantly pouring into the world. Here is the gap of the dark gate. Through the gap, there is the dark passage. Through the passage, there is the legendary dark world. Long Chen, although you have won the world, it's not easy to keep it. You should be ready to bear the impact of the dark monster at any time, and you should consider it carefully. Not long after the arrival of Dragon Dust, Su Jianxiong also came. He looked at the dark door with a serious face. It's not difficult to fight in this world, but it's too dangerous to keep it. When it comes time, it will cost a lot to change from active to passive. According to Su Jianxiong's idea, I hope Long Chen will give up here and leave after mining the vein here. In this way, there will still be profits. If he stays here for a long time, the profits will eventually be consumed. Uncle Xiong, don't worry. There are the best array mages and the best casting masters in our Dragon Blood army. We can arrange arrays, traps, and fortifications. It's absolutely no problem to guard here. Long Chen said with a smile. Long Chen knows that Su Jianxiong is for his good. He is afraid that after a long time, this place will become chicken ribs. It's a pity to eat without meat. After all, the Silver Moon world can be open to Long Chen, and Long Chen doesn't have to pay so much to protect here. According to Su Jianxiong's idea, if the Dragon Blood army fought so hard, there would be damage. If one Dragon Blood soldier died, there would be one less. However, the Diablo monsters were endless and could not afford it. However, Su Jianxiong only saw the fierce battle between Xia Chen and Guoran, but he did not see the real strength of the two. As long as they had enough resources and set traps, they would do everything they could. At the bottom, the Diablo would die as many as they came. After all, Guoran has a lot of secret weapons which are not used. Even Long Chen doesn't know how many moves Guoran has. So, as long as you win this world, it belongs to them. Let alone the Diablo, even if the Diablo Lord comes, he will die. Seeing Long Chen say so, Su Jianxiong doesn't say much. He knows that Long Chen is not an ordinary young man. He is resourceful and doesn't need him to worry. He just needs to remind him. Uncle Xiong, how can the Dark Lord suddenly blow himself up? Long Chen can't help but say. That's what I'm most worried about. The Dark Lord's wisdom is very low. Besides running here to absorb the dark power and recover his physical strength, he seems to only fight. This time, it's extremely abnormal. I suspect that behind the dark door, there is an old monster of the Dark Clan who has issued an order to the Dark Lord. Su Jianxiong said. Old monster? Long Chen was startled. Will he rush out of the dark door? It won't, otherwise it would have rushed out to kill us. Su Jianxiong shook his head and continued. I suspect that the old monster was behind the door. It knew that we were attacking this side of the world, so it forced a Dark Lord to come. Otherwise, one world could not have two Dark Lords. And the Dark Lord who has been blocked can't beat us all the time. Finally, he is ordered to detonate the world and die with us. When Long Chen looks at the dark door, he suddenly feels the cool wind coming from behind his neck. He has goosebumps. It seems that he sees a pair of evil eyes and looks at him from the opposite side of the door. Isn't he able to plug Lord-level monsters over at any time? Long Chen was full of confidence before, but now he hesitated. It can plug the Dark Lord to come, but the dark door is just a crack in the door, sealed by the ancestors of my Moon Watchers. It's not easy for them to get through the crack. Especially for powerful monsters, the more difficult it is to pass through the gate. Like Lord-level monsters, they need to pay a huge price to pass through the crack of the gate. The Dark Lord, whose breath is obviously stronger than the one in front, is weaker than the one before. It is because it is eager to pass through the dark gate, which has caused a lot of damage to it and led to a sharp decline in its strength. However, it is eager to kill us and has no time to recover at all, so we can meet it so easily. However, the old monster behind the door made such a slow decision that his wisdom was extremely limited. Su Jianxiong said. Long Chen nodded. If so, he would be relieved. If he was fully prepared, even if a Dark Lord came in 10 days and a half months, he would die. Longchen, since you want the world, I will activate the core of the star domain. Once the core of the star domain is activated, it can no longer be retrieved. Su Jianxiong took out a tetragonal crystal. As soon as the crystal appeared, there were endless rules of heaven. Thank you, Uncle Xiong. Longchen is in a hurry. Su Jianxiong nodded, his big hand trembled, and countless runes on the crystal broke, which was its seal. When the seal was opened, the whole world was shaking wildly, and endless runes flew out of the crystal and integrated into the world. At that moment, the world seemed to be alive for a moment. The earth was healing, the law was improving, and endless aura was pouring in from the cracks of space. When the turbulent aura surges back and forth in the air, the dragon blood soldiers shout excitedly. They are surprised to find that the aura here is several times stronger than the Moon Watchers. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 41:16, Longchen, come to recognize the Lord, and print the power of your soul on it. In this world, you can be above the way of heaven. Su Jianxiong gives the core of Xingyu to Longchen. Longchen takes over the core of the star domain, feels the fluctuation of the core of the star domain, and a touch of sadness appears on his face. Seeing the core of the star domain, Longchen thinks of Tianwu Continent. Tianwu Continent has given everything to protect the life of Tianwu Continent. She is kind, selfless, and great. She is not afraid of death. She only wants to live in Tianwu. She once asked Longchen, who also vowed to protect Tianwu. It's a pity that Longchen breaks his promise and Tianwu is destroyed. He has no ability to protect her. Although the creatures of Tianwu are transferred, the core of Tianwu star field is dead. This is the pain in Longchen's heart that cannot be concealed. Longchen looks at the core of the star domain, shakes his head and says, I'm not qualified to let her recognize the Lord. I hope she can take charge of the world. If one day I die in battle, it's good that the world can survive. As Longchen talks, his big hand loosens, and the crystal melts into the world. Longchen gives up recognizing the Lord. You. Su Jianxiong was surprised. If Longchen didn't let the core of the star domain recognize the master, he couldn't control the world, and the world was in vain. At this time, the golden divine light from heaven and earth lights up, and the Taoist divine light shines on Longchen. The divine light of Qi emerges from Longchen, and the Qi of heaven and earth is all concentrated on him. This is. Su Jianxiong was surprised, and Longchen gave up recognizing the Lord, but the core of the star domain actually bestowed all the Qi on Longchen, which was another way of recognizing the Lord. In Su Jianxiong's opinion, we can't imagine this kind of situation. You know, the core of the star domain has a soul. Although its memory has been erased because it destroyed the star domain, it left only the core, just like killing a person, leaving only the heart. There is endless pain and hatred in its soul. It is very dangerous to let it control the world if it does not recognize the Lord. But Longchen gave up letting the core of the star domain recognize the Lord. After the core of the star domain controlled the power of the world, instead of exerting hatred on them, it strengthened the Qi of the world on Longchen. When Qi is added to his body, Longchen feels a wonderful artistic conception of the unity of man and nature. At that moment, his mind is integrated into the whole world, which is full of friendliness and warmth to him. As long as he wants, he can use all the power of the world. Longchen smiles just like an innocent child. With his smile, the world becomes warmer, the sky becomes clearer, as if the whole world is laughing. Longchen closed his eyes and opened his arms. He was embracing the world with his heart. As long as I live, you will never experience the pain you once had. Believe me, I promise. Longchen murmurs. Longchen knows that the star core can hear him, but the star core is too weak. It can only express its feelings through the fluctuation of space. It has no reservation of trust in Longchen, and Longchen has opened his heart to it. Their souls can resonate, Longchen can feel its hatred, It can also feel Longchen's pain. We all need to be stronger. Buzz, with the words of Longchen falling, the void is roaring ceaselessly, more and more auras are pouring in from the sky wall, and the aura of the world is still soaring. I can't believe that the core of the star domain should trust you so much. Su Jinxiong could not help sighing. Although they control the Silver Moon world and the 3 small worlds, even if the star core of the Silver Moon world has been with them for countless years, they can't trust Longchen as much as this star core. When this side of the world continues to grow, dragon dust here is the invincible existence, the power to control one side of the world, which is the dream of countless people. The Moon Watchers have won 3 small worlds. In fact, they also think that one day, the Moon Watchers will have 3 peerless arrogance, which will be recognized by the small world, so as to control the power of the 3 small worlds. At that time, the Moon Watchers will have 4 worlds, and their strength will suddenly soar to an unimaginable level. Unfortunately, so far, even Su Changchuan has not been recognized by the star core. And Longchen, who directly ascended to the sky, was directly recognized by the core of the star domain, which shocked and envied Su Jianxiong. Gaga gaga. Gua Ran and Xiachen grinned so much that they could hardly hear. They were so excited that they danced and danced. With such a strong aura and such a friendly way of heaven, they were almost moved to cry. Yu Qingxian is also very excited. Before, she envied Yingyue world very much. Now it's more beautiful than Yingyue world. For everyone, it's the same feeling of home. With the approval of the way of heaven, we can condense a super teleportation array, and then we can teleport directly from Nirvana to the forbidden area of life. Summer morning excited tunnel. But our family is almost empty. Gua Ran immediately frowned. In order to build that big array, Xiachen contributed all his belongings. Now we have won this part of the world, but many things can't be recycled once they are used. It's a drop in the bucket for the trans-sky teleportation array, even if it's barely recovered. The most important thing is that they have to set up fortifications to prevent the monsters in the Dark Gate from attacking. Xiachen was originally in high spirits, but Gua Ran's words were like a cold water. Money is a big problem. What are you afraid of? Didn't your boss start a business? Yu Qingxian said with a smile. Huayan Commercial Bank? But we don't have so many treasures to replace? Xiachen couldn't help saying. Ouch! Gua Ran patted his thigh and his face was full of excitement. Why? Xiachen asks in a hurry. Business is my home, baby. Take it? Did you forget? Gua Ran reminded. I'll go, Longting business. Xiachen jumped up all of a sudden. He didn't turn around for a moment and forgot about Longting business. Robbing is the quickest way to get rich in the world. The most important thing is that Longting business has done all the bad things. It's only the sacrifice of human life that is responsible for their death. They have no psychological burden to rob Longting business. At the same time, they have the pleasure of helping the poor and robbing the rich. Boss, you are practicing here. We need to get rid of Bao Anliang. Brothers, you have been practicing for so long. It's time to practice your achievements. Let's go. At Gua Ran's command, the dragon blood soldiers were so excited that they rushed out with their swords on their backs. Hello. Longchen didn't even agree. These guys ran away on their own. Longchen yelled at the back. The Lord's Assembly is about to start. Don't make a bad reputation. Stop it. Gua Ran, don't worry, I say my name is Emon Yen. Longchen www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.